Nick Kiyose took the first series with a whopping 2-0, showing us mid-round adjustments as well as individual microplays does pay. Now, as we go into Series 2, will we be seeing the same question? That is the question we have here for Raf as well as his furry canine friend.
Yes. Her name is Manju. This is not the first time I think the audience has seen her. Many times, in fact, she's made an appearance, but to just have a quick little recap of the previous series, I would still say it was decently competitive. It was 2-0 on the side of Nick's Kiyose, but you said it, again, the adjustments were made on both sides. That's why it was still as tight as it was. Unfortunately, on the side of... Why are you biting me? Anyway, on the side of Nana and friends, I feel like the experience to just kind of identify what they had to adjust was not there quick enough. And Nick Kiyose saw everything, or at least every avenue that they could take, and they took it. I don't know what Tosh is doing.
Look at his little toe beans.
Huh?
Sorry. Put the dog away. It's distracting me. But let's talk a little bit about the second series, where we are going to be seeing two teams. One of them we've seen play here, and the other, I would say, not really the new team, but a team that's come together under a new banner. And it's going to be the Hero KDA versus BOTT.
That's right. And we were talking about, actually, I think Vic was asking if my shirt was showing how many dogs I own. I wish this was the official jersey for, I believe, Nick's Kiyose earlier. But again, moving on, if my shirt is everywhere, games tonight potentially could be everywhere, as we have a pretty well-rounded team in BOTT. I think this is formerly Points of Authority Blossom, if I am not mistaken, Tash.
That's right, and we have seen them play before. I would say that they had a pretty decent run coming forward. We didn't see them in Open 2 and 3. I believe it was Open 1 that we last saw them. So it's nice to see them up here again. Coming up here, Bittersweet, Capybara, Cali, Metawin, and Naturel. And I do believe that while they were in the same roster before, under Point of Authority Blossom, they are also, I would say, there have been some minor adjustments to the roster as well.
Absolutely, and hopefully from their last appearance, they've potentially made some leaps and bounds in their gameplay. And my goodness, Manju's getting too excited for the next lineup, and here we are, the Hero KDA. Now, we talked about how competitive this series could potentially be, as these teams, at least in their showing, Tash, they have a very, very similar play style, both very, I guess, default heavy again. They do have a mixed bag of set plays, but on very, very specific maps. So potentially we could see this game being won in the veto already. But the Hero KDA, I think they're on the most, or rather they're the more recent team that's entered the top 8, if memory serves me correctly.
It's right. We did see them last play on the big stage in Open 2. They unfortunately didn't make it to Open 3. Now, if you guys didn't know, Olulu is the, I would say, IGL for the team, and she only started IGLing during Open 3. So that's what Hannah told me. Because before this, it was a different IGL. They did have a change in their roster as well. It's no longer RK, I'm not too sure. I think it's RK something her name is. RKND, I believe, was her name. Now already changed to Bagel. So I'm really excited to see how exactly they're going to be coming through. But let's see what exactly the map picks are going to be. And we are going to be seeing a Fracture, Bind, and Ascent. Now it's going to be a pick by the Hero KDA for Fracture, and Bind is going to be picked by BOTT. And honestly, I would say that the mindset for the Hero KDA will be very similar to what I expect from Nick's Kiyose. I would say it's a very set play style. We're seeing, like, I think the last time I saw them play, what really impressed me about the Hero KDA is how exactly they have this buddy system, a communication system going on, how they swing together, how they crossfire together was very, very fun to watch. And Hannah, of course, we already know that she has a long history in playing in competitive, so I'm really excited to see what exactly she brings to the table this LCQ.
And again, those really add up when it comes to the fights, right? As long as you have a very reliable buddy system and you get your trades off cleanly, it really can add up to those rounds where, again, a crucial moment could have been just from one miscomm on a swing. But to go back onto our map veto here, Fracture, Bind, and Ascent, I feel like this can be incredibly like it's super pendulum like. It can go either way very, very quickly, as there is quite a bit of snowball potential on Fracture, as we saw earlier on today.
That's
and
right.
Bind as well, especially when you get a lot of that shower control. And again, there's just so many ways to play Bind now, and I'm honestly quite refreshed. But I think that third map has to go. Ascent has to get out of here. Bring back Icebox. That's the best map in the universe.
It's true. I'm gonna have to agree with you, but let's have a look at the agent select here. We're gonna be seeing Cappy running that raise, so I think it's already given that we're gonna be seeing this particular lineup. If Hannah actually locks in that Leoru, I am going to lose my freaking mind.
I mean, she's thinking about it. It's still being hovered over. I
mean,
don't think
when we look at Hannah, we always talk about Hannah being that initiator, right? So now with Olulu, you know, Olulu taking charge or in the team with her, like I think Hannah can pretty much flex if she wanted to.
And theoretically speaking, right, they can still lead the charge with Snowkey being the front line, and Hannah can pose a lurk threat or a much more, I guess, divided pressure, since she can teleport and she can do all the Yoru shenanigans. But
yeah,
my goodness,
she can be the distraction.
Have not locked in.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the mental warfare, right? Like, oh, we're gonna lock in Yoru. We're gonna lock in Yoru.
Yeah, that would give them a horrible headache. But let's talk a little bit about Snowkey. Now, there's a lot of, I would say, emphasis on Snowkey for me, because on how exactly we watched her in Open 2 was that it felt like Snowkey had a little bit more, I would say, pressure on a Jet compared to a I would say, a Raze. The way that her path was very, very Jet oriented compared to like what we expect from Raze. So I'm really hoping that whatever it is that she had trouble with in Open 2 would have been changed by now. But you know, as we know, we didn't see it in Open 3. So I'm kind of expecting a lot of changes and a lot of growth from her. And it's going to be really exciting to see how the hero KDA has changed, coming to the fact that they nearly took down OGX before in Swiss rounds before. I mean, we did see a little bit of beefy between those two teams, more rivalry than anything, instead of just hatred between the players. And we know that we love seeing this kind of competitive talk outside of the game.
Again, that's just why we're here, you know. Game Changers is all about the growth, and it's all about the competition. It is fierce, and it is just so incredibly, again, passionate for everybody, you know. Everybody's hearts are into this, as well as a lot of a time investment.
Yeah, there is a lot to talk about. I'm gonna keep my eye on Snowkey just to see how exactly she adapts onto Raze as we go into this, I would say, this stage. But for now, Vic and Quack, are you ready to tell us a story?
Yes, the three of us are ready for a story. We have our second caster on this side, Ellie. This is Game Changers, and we want to have as much representation as possible, female representation. And I am really excited. Hello over to Raph's dog over there. You know, Hero KDA, as you guys mentioned, we're looking really strong coming into this last chance qualifiers. And Quack, you know, you had your eyes on the duelist. Tell us a bit more. Tell me a bit more about that.
Definitely kind of like, you know, what Tash and Raph have already touched on. You're seeing that double duelist pick coming out from BOTT or BOTT, and you know that they can be really strong, especially when you're looking at a player like Natural as well as Capybara. They have insane fragging potential. But for the other team, Snow, you know, she's someone who's normally on the Jet, now on the Raze, adapting to a map like Fracture. There is that chance for her to step up as well. So you kind of want to keep your eyes on these two sides of the coin and see how it really shows off. But I'm also thinking about a player like Hannah, who, by the way, specifically came down to Singapore just to play with her team, her two friends, on 5 or 8 ping, I guess. That's a lot of commitment.
It is, but it's also really nice playing on 5 ping compared to, I think it'd be like a 40 ping from the other side. So I can't really blame her. Look, we just saw a Fracture map just now, and what we ended up seeing was a lot of very fast, aggressive pushes. Ended up paying off. I want to see how Hero, KDA, and BOTT end up playing this out. Fracture is a very dynamic map. I think what makes it so interesting to watch or even play on is all the different possibilities that you can do here with those fast rotations, cutting through mid map through that zip line, or just being really tricky with using those underpasses and tunnels. So look, these are comps that we've seen, you said, except with the change with Raze. But with that Raze instead, I guess we can expect a lot more angles to be cleared with her utility.
Yeah, it's still compositions that both teams are pretty darn experienced with. But, you know, having a Raze plus a Jet, that's something that, you know, really scratches that duelist itch in my brain right now. I'm really keeping my eye on BOTT just because of that, because you're never quite sure how effective that's going to be. It could be something that bites you in the back if you're not a team that can really pull that off. And if you're looking at statistics, the hero KDA, you know, has been playing together a lot longer, kind of like what Tash has mentioned. They've made a deeper run in previous opens before. So experience-wise, especially on a map like Fracture, the hero KDA should have this one in the bag. But BOTT with a double duelist, now, maybe they've got something special lined up for us.
Yeah, with a double duelist comp, you know that you have to be confident first of all, and you know you got to be ready to fight. And Natural, she loses that fight immediately.
Kind of quick. We've got Callie just trying to play around this as well, but unfortunately blown up by the paint shells. The rest of her teammates just trying to push out from defender spawn, but they've been blocked off by the sky smoke. Aisling trying to hide inside it with a ghost, not quite able to land the shot. That's it though. Host plant positions already prepared. Look at how they're all lined up inside of tower, as well as Spagel watching the off angle, using a sheriff, not landing the shot, but good enough. A bit of damage, and Snow will find the final shot. 1-0, and it's gonna be the hero KDA with a pistol win.
Yeah, you can see that BOTT was getting ready for that aggressive push, but you know that first kill going down so quickly, and the second here with Kaylee, it's just kind of crumbled. It completely crumbled almost immediately for them.
Yeah, just one of those things again. And that's why you really need more confidence and as well as just conviction to be able to land those frags and kind of anticipate where opponents be. Still on the defensive side, they're going out, collecting some orbs, pushing out. And you just have that one Cypher player, Callie, with her camera getting all of this information. The hero KDA is just not slowing down though.
No, they're not. And that usually plays into their favor. They have absolutely no reason to slow down.
That's why they already have the site. And BOTT slowly coming up from behind. They managed to land a shot on one of the players, Natural. A good shot at the Sheriff. Satchel's in though, and it's unfortunately not as coordinated as you would have hoped. Hannah landing it all down. Spectre and then a ghost. She is haunting them all the way down to their graves. 2-0.
Yeah, with nothing but a ghost in hand.
It kind of lined up for her.
Yeah. We're just gonna rewatch this beautiful play when she finishes him off.
Well, but yeah, very well played by Hannah. She's already 2 points away from the Nightfall. But thinking about BOTT and how they went in for that retake, definitely not how you want to go in for these.
No, but this round is going to be really important for BOTT. They need to win this round, or this momentum from hero KDA is going to be really tough to fight against.
Oh, well, this is... And just the hero KDA with more confidence, crazy takes, pushing all the way out from Dish and Drop. They smoked off A main and took control over the site. Now looking to push further in towards defender spawn. But that's where we've got the double duelist Natural as well as Cappy BOTT finding 2 frags of their own down to Hannah. And with that Spectre, not quite the same impact this time around, given the firepower from BOTT.
Yeah, well played by BOTT here. They did have a better buy, but you know what? That's how a bonus round plays out, and they really needed this round. This is good with bot with 1 point in the bag.
Given how they position themselves as well, kind of this time around, actually anticipating Hero KDA's movements a lot more, knowing that where else are they gonna go apart from site, and with the fact that they smoked off a main, maybe they're gonna go to defender spawn. Natural was ready for it. Next round though, and it's going to be Capybara with a judge and a showstopper. I wonder how this round's gonna go.
There. Face your fear!
We're about to find out. They get sight. It's just free.
Well, from Tree at least, but surely you got retakes coming through from the other side. We're still playing around the ropes. I don't know if there are gonna be any schools of fish around this one. Paint shells for sure though, and explosions coming up from Capybara. 2 frags down in an instant. And that leaves one player, Aisling, from the Hero KDA trying to hold out the retake, but can't quite span the right spot. The defuse sticks through nonetheless.
Bitterbot almost died just now in the celebration. Losing a terrible way to lose a rifle. But this is looking good for bot. You know, we thought this was going to be a really quick win by Hero KDA, which honestly would be disappointing. We don't want to see that kind of game. We want to see good games on Fracture.
Especially when it's picked by the Hero KDA. Should be more prepared on this, but that said,
it's only round 5. There's plenty more to go. It looks like they're slowing the tempo a little bit now, which is probably the right move considering how much Cypher is set up on B. But they like B.
A lot of teams like B right now. They're spamming some shots in an attempt to draw out any potential peaks. If this were more, if they were more experienced with each other, they might be able to tell that it's just Kali along with Natural hiding on B, but discouraged by 0 information, they peek into Capybara instead, and that's where they're going to meet a lot of trouble around A site. And that's one of the interesting things about this matchup is that although both teams have been around the Game Changer scene quite a bit, they haven't really played each other officially up till this point.
Yeah, and that's always really exciting to see when there are familiar players, familiar faces finally facing off against each other and see what they're made of.
Just trying to maneuver around it as well. A little bit of foreign territory. Hero KDA, though, has taken control over it for now. Hannah, unfortunately, left behind, deserted. And we're just relying on post-plant utilities to try to buy more time. Hopefully enough for the timer to tick down, but still about 20-ish seconds left, and it's good enough for bot to actually stick it all through. Natural collecting on all the frags. And that's another round for bot.
Yeah. Bot is looking really good right now. They have 4 women still up at the moment, so this is, their economy is great. Hero KDA, on the other hand, not so much.
Little bit unfortunate. Had a pretty good start, but then towards the end, tapering off a little bit. And that just might be what we're seeing, especially if you're thinking about the previous game that we just saw between Nyx, Kiyose, as well as Nana and friends. The defensive side now pushing out a lot more aggressively or coming in with dedicated retakes. It puts the Hero KDA in a tricky position. Like I said, yeah, pushing out. They're actually exploring bridge side spawn, not finding all too much, And somehow contact made coming out from tree. Snow a little bit sharper with her Vandal. Takes down a couple of players.
Ready.
And that leaves us with a 3-on-4 retake, Vic.
Yeah. At this right here, KDA really needs to get this win. Again, the scoreline is close, but they did lose 3 in a row. BOTT, however, definitely wants to stop that from happening.
Last player standing.
Can't do that if you're just walking into crosshairs, though. And that's how the last frag goes as well. Hannah collecting on the last one, too. It's tying up the score 3-3.
Yeah. Keeping the dream alive. This is still the only first map. And like you said, these two teams haven't faced off each other yet properly, despite being very familiar with each other in this scene right now. They're definitely sussing each other out at the moment, and I'm pretty sure by the second half we're going to see a very different tempo come out from both sides.
Not too much. No, I mean, it also comes with the name change of BOTT, but just looking at the scores right now, Duel is definitely finding a lot of that impact. But now I have to correct myself. They have played against each other with different teammates on BOTT's side under a different name point of Authority Blossom. And in that series, the Hero KDA won out 13-6. And we're seeing that confidence resurge in their plays. Snow with the showstopper creating so much space, leaving one player lurking around drop as well. There's so many more angles if BOTT does decide to try to set up a retake. And if they don't block it off as well. Now playing around door, Hannah goes in for the swing. Not quite able to capitalize on it too. It leaves Lulu as the last one left alive, and she sends out the Rolling Thunder in an attempt to keep her team's dream alive. But all the utility burning down at her feet, and she's not able to buy enough time to keep the defuse at bay. BOTT will be able to take the round 4-3.
A valiant effort by Lulu. You know, trying so hard to hold the fort at A, but you could see that retake setup from BOTT's side as they gathered their forces, pushed through the doors, and retook, honestly, very effortlessly. That was an excellent, set retake there, and you can see why. Hero KDA is taking a timeout now because they know at this rate, BOTT hasn't figured them out.
Not so
Hasn't
much.
figured out, rather.
Especially with the way that they retook, peeking out of door, despite the smoke and everything, Hannah trying to make her own impact, teammates trying to watch the mouth of A main, but just being flanked by an angle like that, a little bit painful. So, just extra fun facts now. The Hero KDA and their coach, CA, actually, he's another caster as well, especially in the South Asian scene. You would be very familiar with him. And hopefully he's able to provide a bit of that tactical feedback that they need, because the Hero KDA, they're a formidable team. They've been getting spike plants so far. The only problem is sometimes not quite able to hold a post plant.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what the issue is here. But when you have two duelists, we can see why this is coming in really handy right now. When they're coming in for this retake, they're coming in really hard with both the Jet and Raze.
That's specifically what the composition's about, I suppose. Especially if you consider the fact that they've got some ultimates in their hands as well. Got Capybara with the showstopper, but she's going surveyed into a full gang of the Hero KDA members. Tiny trades, but Snow finds a trade right back at them. Now the whole team's headed their way down towards A site. Haunt not going to be able to spot anything though.
You should run.
So you're going to want to think twice before jumping out of that sky smoke. Maybe waiting for it to dissipate.
Yeah, but that util is going to create some space over here as they try to gather some information before going into site.
Lockdown's not going to find too much.
Nope.
Paint shells to keep them
Spike
further
planted.
back too. Spike planted out in the open. And in a position like that, you're definitely looking to go into defender spawn, but this is where Natural is. And she's
Crispy.
sharp.
Crispy,
That's a
crispy.
second tap. Bitterbot with another frag as well. What just happened? All we've got left is Lone Aisling as the Brimstone. Finds a couple of frags with a Phantom. Tosses out the Incendiary, but not quite good enough for the final duel. Callie answers back. It's a 5-3, Vic.
Yeah, they tried to figure bot out, but bot, you can see them holding every single time. They are not rushing. They are giving them the site. They're holding back and going in as a team. Even if it's 3v4, they managed to keep it in the bag because they have it under control. They're staying really calm as they retake site.
In fact, it's almost as if they want the retake. Sometimes maybe pushing out of dish. That's why they got punished a little bit. But apart from that, still very sound and strong retakes coming out from bot.
Yep, and Cappy bot has a showstopper back online now. In fact, the whole team. We got 4 utils up. This is gonna be really tough for Hero KDA.
They haven't really needed to use their ultimates. And so many of these retakes are won by Naturel and her sharpshooting. I mean, look at the quick movement on these. Especially when she has a tailwind at the ready. Just immediately rob her opponents of one of their teammates. Blind shots being spammed through the sky smoke now, and it does tag up some of these players, especially Snow, who's down to 50 HP. Now peeking into the sky smoke, Hannah gets punished. A bit of peeks with the Sheriff coming out from Aisling and Underpass, but it's not meant to be. You're only able to find one. While Defuse being stuck again, they've managed to get it halfway. Aftershock flushes Snow out of position. She's only good for the 1 frag. Bot has won 3 rounds in a row. Maybe more, I might be wrong.
I think it's more at this, it might be 4. But you know, we were just talking about this at the beginning of the round and ending Fracture in the last series just now. A lot of this, especially on Fracture, is down to confidence. And when you have a double duelist comp, I mean, we were just talking about it. A lot of it's confidence. You just got to go in and be really aggressive. And the way they're doing it, though, is just so well coordinated right now. They're playing as a team. They know exactly what they're setting up for. They know what they're doing going up against Hero KDA.
Yeah, especially with Naturel again. I mean, she's up by 12 kills right now. And just knowing exactly how to peek, how to dash away, when to spam. And her teammates always around to trade or follow up as well. Coming from the previous rounds, though, Cappy bot now just kind of taking a bit of a chill pill. You know, still has a showstopper, but doesn't really need to use it yet. Or no, actually, she used a showstopper already. Well, Hero KDA is making their play into the B site. That's where they get punished. Aisling trying to fight back, though. Olulu a little bit deeper into defender spawn as well. They've managed to retrieve the spike, and very much so, the plant along with it.
Spike planted. There.
Cappy going in now. You can see again, even with the 2 of them, every single retake is always together. And while this sounds obvious, it's usually the mistake a lot of teams make when trying to retake site and panic as the time ticks down.
Down you go. My ult's ready.
Excellent take of control tower.
Out of charges.
Now it's down to 2v2.
But post-plant holds, they know that there's an orbital strike coming at them, so they kind of want to bait out that ultimate. Even if they know they're going to lose a round. Not bad, but yeah, still, Aisling manages to come up huge in this round with 4 kills. 1 from the orbital strike and 3 more through her Vandal.
Yeah, Hero KDA really needed that. So that orbital strike came in really handy. And I'm sure they knew that this was the round to turn it around.
Right there.
Aisling's looking on fire, by the way. A lot of her kills, she's just doing multi-kills per round.
And that's that follow-up as well, right? Snowkey might dive in, but if she gets taken out, Aisling's there to like make some chaos, especially around the smokes. Snow this time, though. All right, a bit of an opening pick. Someone from bot just kind of got a little bit too antsy, peeked out a tree. This time it's the 4 positions being held around main. Showstopper sent in the right direction, but not quite checking out the back. Bitterbot is able to do a bit of damage, but still 1-on-4. Spike very much being delivered over onto the A site. What can Callie do?
Has turned around. I mean, Callie can kill 4 people by herself. With 2 of them having an ult. This is going to be tough. But again, we've seen miracles. Miracles can happen in Valorant, which is why I really like Valorant. Anything is possible. But this is not the round, unfortunately.
Hey, a good tiny bit of a flick, though, maybe. She took down Hannah. One out point towards her neural theft. She's 1 point away from it. But, you know, that's the main thing, Vic. You've got BOTT, and they are sitting on those ultimates, and they can still use them to maximum effect. 6-5, and this is now the last round before the swap. And, okay, BOTT's coach calling a timeout this time.
I wonder what BOTT stands for. Do we know?
I am not sure.
BOTT? I hope it's not a reference to, like, you know, bot. Like
bottom?
Yeah. Or maybe they are. Maybe they're being ironic about it. They're playing really well. They're definitely not bottom based on the scoreline right now. But I like how they've all changed their names to be bad bot puns. I do enjoy bad puns. It's I feel like that's something that APAC does really well. Our region.
I already made you cringe enough, so I'm going to try not to do that. But we're going into the last round before the swap again. And
I can't believe we're already here. Both teams are looking really good right now. I think we were expecting Hero KDA. You know, the desk was talking about this. We were talking about this historically. Hero KDA is just really strong. But right now, looking at things, they're going to have to step it up once we go into the second half.
Not too bad of a scoreline, though.
No,
if they can make it
Face your
happen.
fear!
It's hard to say at this point.
An interesting Nightfall used to clear out Sens as well as Defender spawn. I'm surprised that Kepler didn't spot out the beanie that was staring right at her. Bagel will be able to take her out
Spike
instead.
planted.
And now the Hero KDA has the site.
Molly.
At this rate, Hero KDA needs to be able to stop this protocol that's
Launching
about
smoke.
to happen. You can see them bot lining up, getting ready to push back to take that site.
And they're using the orbital strike to kind of block off aiming a little bit as well. Not anticipating Snow to be further back though. And that's where the trade comes through. However, Olulu just on the site takes down 2 players on her own,
Switching
tying up the
sides.
score 6-6.
It's exactly what we needed to see from Hero KDA, being able to read what bot is doing each time. They hold and get ready for that post-plant retake, and they were ready for it this time, and it paid off.
And that's what we're going to have at the end of the first half. I mean, either team could come back at this point, so I'm going to leave it to our panelists to kind of talk this up, because I have no idea how this is going to go. Tash and Ref, what do you guys think?
I think that 6-6 halves have been a theme of the day, honestly. We're seeing very competitive first halves here from both teams. Now, I want to talk a little bit about BOTT, who has honestly been surprising me on how exactly they played in that first half. Now, yeah, we see some really impressive plays. I would say hero plays coming in by the Hero KDA, like the Hannah round 2 ace. That was very fun to watch. But I think like BOTT's retakes and utility usage have been phenomenal coming through. They're so good at getting that, I would say, that conversions when it comes to the utility, when it comes to the swing outs with the utility. They have a really good set play when it comes to the double swings and the crosses, and you can see this aggressive, the double duelist play really coming to work on how exactly they've been playing. And you can see the 2 duelists, the Jet and the Raze, moving together as well, which provides them a lot more value in terms of aggression. Yes, there were some rounds that I would say the Hero KDA did shine, but honestly, it took them a while to really figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about Fracture, and Fracture is definitely an attacker-sided map. Bot handling it to a 6-6 despite Hannah, I think, or rather, yeah, it was Hannah getting that ace on the second round. And for any team to not really fall under the pressure or really be baited into the momentum is already a good sign. But again, our casters have talked about it. We've talked about it. We can't really tell how this series is going to go because they have been adjusting. Again, pound for pound, they've been exchanging haymakers. Although there are really some questionable rounds like round 8, I honestly thought that the the person advantage would have been pretty much too much to overcome. But again, just a few messy swings here and there, Tash.
Yeah, there has been a few questionable mistakes from both teams, but let's see whether or not they'll be able to tie it up and bring it clean home as we go into the second half. So, Quack and Victoria, let's see the second half of the game.
Gotta make it happen. This is where it starts. This is the first map. We can't afford any more mistakes. Because if it continues to happen, I mean, you already had such a good lead getting some spike plants, but if you let things slip, that's where you could get knocked down to the lower bracket.
I'll find you.
That's right. No relaxing like Tactibear. We're going to go into the second half. It is 6-6. And Hero KDA, I mean, this was their map pick, right?
It is.
Well, 6-6 is probably not the scoreline that they wanted. And you can see them getting ready now. Just they're sensing, it's just sensing that B hit is about to happen.
You know what the scoreline is that you would want is, I can't believe that this actually happened, but between MLT and Be My Team on the other stream, there was a 13-0. I don't know if I've actually ever seen that in like a VCT before.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
They're so rare. I actually don't think it's ever happened before. Well, it's definitely never happened on our watch.
Yeah, but still, definitely trying to make that dent in either team's side right now. Bot has taken control over the site, and they're trying to go in for that plant right now. Olulu going in for the swing to trying to deny it, but without the utility and with all the angles being watched by the bot teammates, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Bit of havoc coming out from the side of tower, though. That's going to be Hannah trying to find some shots. Bagel, however, on the other side will go down. And that leaves Hannah in a 1-on-2, but look at her opponent's health. This is not impossible. Flashpoint being thrown at her face, though, and she fires a couple of haymakers of her own, getting a shot through. Meta is crouching, crab walking with the classic, a right click to the face, and clutches out the round.
Oh, that was, I mean, I feel for Hannah.
Are you serious?
That would be frustrating. It's like, what are you doing down there?
Just crouched all the way
like
there.
that. But you know what? We saw what Hannah did, you know, on the pistol round, first half.
Oh, yeah,
Ghost.
yeah.
She's scary. I would do whatever it took if it was a little crab walk and a really weird, breachy crab walk. I would do that.
I can't believe that's what got her, though.
Still waiting.
I know. But you know what?
Oh my god.
Hey, anything can happen in Valorant.
It's Valorant. We are Valoranting, and we are into B site again. Finding shots onto Hannah now. And then the spike plant. We got pistols trying to retake, but I don't see it happening, Vic.
This is gonna be tough.
Oh, this is not bad. Paint shell skill, classic kill!
Okay.
Now they want to pick up the guns. They got guns at their disposal.
What on earth? That is...
One enemy remaining.
It just slipped out of their hands.
Oh, no.
The judge is gonna save them, though. They lost way too many people in that round. Paint shells and classics, that nearly slipped out of their hands.
Especially towards tree. I mean, it was a good sort of coordination of utilities with the paint shells and the fault line. But the classic shot is what really impressed me coming out from Snow. Following that, though, I think Meta Win just kind of peaked out with the Bulldog. And then that's where things started to go back to normal. Let's see if Butt can secure this momentum, however, in this round. But without the economy, unfortunately, some of them are on Ghost this round. It's going to be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, there is and it seems
Spike down B.
it almost didn't matter.
Almost.
With the gun difference. Taking back my words now.
That's, again, one of those things about the map Fracture. Because it's like 4 points on the map. Maybe you get a good read. Maybe you're trying to pull off a fake. But sometimes you just walk into each other and collide.
Yeah, that's sort of the joy of Fracture. It's always a surprise around every single quarter. They're playing really slowly now. At this rate, when we're on the bonus round, this matters. We're going into the second half. Hero KDA, this is their map pick, and it's not really going on the direction, obviously, that they're hoping for.
Could turn around though. What? They saw each other. They weren't able to secure the frag. Now Lulu comes in. That's a third kill for her. Callie with the Bulldog. All she needs is 2 more targets. Taps the spike. Baits out the peak. Now trying to stay alive. Goes in for the
10
stick.
seconds left.
Here's those footsteps marching towards her, and she needs to land down the spray transfer, but with the Bulldog, it's just a little bit more difficult, considering the fact that Strawberry Bagel has full armor and full health.
Yeah.
No, you don't deserve my invention.
Spray transfer with a Bulldog doesn't really translate as well.
30 seconds left.
Well, it's a 2-1
Good
start
attempt,
again.
Last player standing.
Nearly melted into that molly.
10 seconds
Almost.
left.
But again, just shows how these rounds can really go. And now we've got 2 judges? 2? Okay.
Yeah, that's I think at this rate, knowing that they have a full buy right now, they're expecting some high tempo action. You know, when you have a double duelist comp, at some point, you know it's gonna happen.
Yeah, but it's just Bagel hiding in a corner, and then you have Snow in a corner of her own around Dish, playing off of Bagel's turret's contact, which leaves the B site somewhat less fortified. Given that bot are towards this site, which is kind of the pattern that we've been seeing so far, it worries me about the Hero KDA and their strats and how they're going to play out the rest of the series. Because we've seen them play before. We know that they can come out with more decisive wins than this, but right now, bot are really fighting with a lot of firepower and a lot of great reads. Calling out that B side is completely clear. They get a free plant, and now just look at the post-plant positioning. Tower again, 1 around generator, coming through underpass as well. You've got an orbital strike at the ready too. The Hero KDA are just streaming into the site, but a bit of run and gun from Aisling, and then the trade comes out from Cappy Bot. All the shots going through the way of Bot. Hannah getting dinked, but yeah, just no time to defuse. She's gonna run away. Her opponents have heard this.
Right here.
I think you were saying earlier, and you're probably right. It's a little bit worrying for Hero KDA. They seem to be reading this a bit slower. That rotation was almost like they were expecting something else to happen. And I'm very surprised by Hero KDA's slow rotation back onto B once, you know, the spike is already down and they had two agents on A until that spike fully went down.
And that's just a little bit unfortunate for both sides. Again, you stick the plant, but then Hero KDA not quite able to find that impact that they want. Now it's just full-on contact into A main. Snow trying to fight fire with fire, but the rest of the team's just so cognizant as to hold back and then go in for a trade. We are tied up 3-3 right now, but it's almost not fair because the Killjoy on the Hero KDA side She's down in red HP.
They're already fully onto B. That was a, a well-timed
Where are you? Still waiting.
rotation from bot, and they're comfortably, completely retaking the site. But you can see why now. Hero KDA has their ult to take the space back.
Not quite coordinated or on the same page though. Nightfall along with the lockdown, it doesn't really hit anyone, so value maybe not quite felt. In fact, it's the rolling thunder that buys a bit more time for bot. MetaWin finding a shot through as well. Wallbang's coming up, but the defuse is getting stuck. Oh! The aftershock with its final tick secures the round. At this point, Hannah, she wants to stick the defuse. It's just halfway, which is about 3.5 seconds. But look at how bot are just leapfrogging off of one another with their utility and a volley of bullets. They are now at 10-7.
Bot has really shaped up their coordinated play. We saw this on defense. It's happening again. They're just coming together.
Oh, so
in a
close.
way KDA is unable to do anything about it.
I really don't know what else to say other than the fact that it's just unfortunate. And that's the second timeout used now by CA, the Hero KDA's coach. And
it is such a mess in here. This Tactibear is messy.
what are you talking about? He's just...
Look, he's hiding behind rubbish, and there was all this stuff on the floor.
He's comfortable in there.
Did you know about this room?
Why are you shaming him?
I didn't know about this room.
I did not know about this room. Our observers were really amazing, by the way. They know about this room.
Yeah, clearly showing us him. This Tactibear needs to clean up his room, or he's going to get grounded.
I want to know about the Tactibears hidden on Sunset. Because I haven't really explored the whole map yet.
Sunset? Yeah. I think that's going to be really fun once it joins the map pool. And I'm pretty sure all the Game Changers teams are going to be looking forward to it too.
Oh yeah.
It's always nice to have a new thing in the mix.
Light 'em up.
Sunset and Breeze for Game Changers APAC Elites. I have no idea what's going to happen.
Oh yeah. Elite's going to be fun.
On the other hand though, as it stands, will this timeout find impact? Because if not, it's very likely that bot will reach match point, and that does not bode well for the Hero KDA, because the second map right now is going to be bot's map pick of Bind. And you just want to go into every map as prepared as possible, and right now they don't really look that way, Vic.
Yeah, that's right. Bot is looking really good, and honestly, I am excited for Bind. Either way, I'm glad that's the next map.
Right here.
But Bot, they're just coming together really well. Their mind is one right now, and that's ultimately what is helping to keep them in the lead. Because raw gunpowder, it's pretty even.
Oh well, we say that. It's gonna be Bagel along with Snow and Olulu finding all this contact. Trades coming out from bot's side though. And their trades is what impresses me quite a bit as well. Trying to even out the odds, but MetaWin's just running all the way to the other part of the map with the spike now. Despite the early contact, bot has somewhat managed to recover. That could have gone a whole lot worse.
I'm just watching this breach go for a
run,
marathon
Forrest, run!
It's like ponytails just flapping in the wind. So he's like, oh, I gotta plant the spike in just in the nick of time. With 2 seconds, gets the spike down. But this is doable. This is doable. If you can isolate, she can isolate these duels. But
oh
you
my
can see
god!
Now they are making sure they have every angle covered, trying to flush her out, and yeah, they managed to do it. Timeout paid off.
Good call, good reads. Going to that same point of contact around arcade bench once more. But truly, it's that teamwork and that the 3-on-1 that was really nice. Like you mentioned, Vic, just securing every single angle. The fact that they pushed in towards A main, that's clean.
Yeah, it was clean. It was smart. It was careful, but they got it. And they needed it. Meta win on the half buy and Bulldog. Good our bot as well.
Really looking to secure more rounds. And she is playing the initiator role after all in the breach, so a bit more backline support, but oh god. First point of contact, and that's a brimstone gone. Cappy bot answers back though, but you truly do not have any smokes to aid you in this moment. All you've got is perhaps Callie and her cyber cages. And she's hiding inside the smoke, so we're getting sneaky and peeky! Only one.
Almost.
And then Olulu trades. Natural and Cappy bot. It's the two duelists that we've been hyping up. They're holding some of these positions. Cloudburst in just to make them think that she went through the door.
One enemy remaining.
Now peeking out of Sanch. She finds Olulu. Timer ticking away. Hannah.
Interesting placement.
Oh, Natural is just toying with her right now. Oh,
Yep.
it's the up trap.
kidding me.
And there it is. You've run out of time. Sticking it halfway, trying to land a shot. Natural is still playing peekaboo with this. We are at 11 to 8, Vic.
Who would have thought? Bot is definitely showing the prowess right now. Again, coordinated plays. Their double duelist comp is really paying off right now. That confidence coming through, and Natural is just hitting all her shots.
Man. I mean, still you could see that fundamentally most of these players are capable of landing their shots.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's just sometimes with the pressure that comes through and some of the strategies that don't really pay off, bot knowing how to just play off of their spike, feeling a little bit more comfortable with it. However, now that we're on to the next round, we've already seen Hero KDA pushing into bridge side spawn once more. They're calling out that the information is clear. It's kind of setting up for an a-hole now. Oh, but Capybara getting a couple tags of her own.
Sight is theirs for the taking, and it looks like Hero KDA is taking a page out of Bot's book. Just gathering all their reinforcements before trying to retake Sight together.
What is this positioning to? Oh my god, she still actually gets it.
One enemy remaining.
And this is very potentially match point, Vic.
Taken down.
It's looking like that, but Iceling wants to prove you wrong. Crispy.
Pour one out.
Not quite enough. Valiant attempt by Iceling, though, with nothing but a sheriff.
Match point.
Oh, speaking of crispy. Sometimes you just gotta crack a few eggs, make some omelets, and really, the bot...
The omelets aren't crispy.
Oh, you're right.
Unless yours are. I've seen you cook. I can see how your omelets end up crispy.
I've been roasted. She's got a point. Sometimes I leave the shells inside. I hope I don't actually do that. It is now match point, and bot are looking incredibly sharp. Not just in their shots, but with the strats as well. And they're going through into the site. Snow going with the tracking shot, but Meta win again with that trade. Showstopper completely nullified.
Hero KD is fighting to stay in the game right now. This is match point. And bot, a slight man advantage. Well, it's a 4-2 right now, and it's not looking too good for Hero KDA to carry on.
Oh boy. Callie firing those shots. She's got the neural theft. We know where you're hiding. Olulu can't escape for too long.
Get off my back.
And she's only got 2 rounds in the magazine.
Attackers
can't
win.
do all that much towards the end of it, and it's just gonna be a bit of a tragic end at the end of this first map anyway. 13-8, same score that we saw from the previous matchup too, but yeah, the bot just looks a little bit better.
Yeah, Bot was looking really good, taking away Hero KDA's own map pick against them really well, really strong. This wasn't a fluke. They just look so well coordinated. This is the kind of plays that we want to see coming into last chance qualifiers. Like, they just need to be coordinated. You can't rely on raw gunpowder all the time. And when it came face to face, I think you can argue that firepower wise, Hero KDA has a slightly better track record on that front. But when your team is mind melding and they are one, it doesn't really matter. And clearly, case in point here on this first map of Fracture. But it is only the first map. It could go the other way. We might end up with all 3 maps in this best of 3 series.
It's possible, but considering that the next map is Bind, ooh, I don't know. And it definitely forces the Hero KDA to rethink some of their strategies, and that's what our panelists will have to break down for us as well. Tash and Raph, please tell us what's going to happen next.
The future is for the future us to behold. But
Yes.
let's talk a little bit about the past first before we go that way, as we talk about Fracture. Now, honestly, in my mind, looking at, I would say, Hero KDA's performance, I had a hunch, or rather, I predicted that it was going to be the Hero KDA's map. But as soon as I saw the double duelist coming through, it sort of like changed my mind for me. At first, I thought, okay, the double duelist would only work on the attack side. But it really honestly changed my mind when we saw what exactly they wanted to do with the double duelist. Have the duelists play together, put in that aggression, put in that pressure, get all of that utilities out of the way. And on top of that, you can really tell that how the way bot plays is that they don't really try and put as many utility out as possible. They're really good with their utility management, to the point that till after the post plant, they had so much utility to play with, which really gave them a lot of value and a lot of advantage to just really, I would say, deny the diffuse from the Hero KDA.
Yes. Anyway, on a more serious analysis, jokes aside, aside from having double duelist, one thing that I really did appreciate on the side of bot is that, again, knowing that they have a lineup that somewhat forces them to be a bit one-dimensional, they still managed to play super, super compact. They had a lot of value off of Cappy bots, either Doom Roombas or any of her names, and that's the Boom bot, if anybody's wondering what I'm talking about.
Cappy bot was able to get multi-frags with her showstopper,
exactly.
which was like massive.
And then there were rounds where Cappy bot would hang on to the showstopper for a little too long. I think it was like in the first half where if she just swung with a showstopper, she probably could have had an easy 3k, but ran into a 3-stack on the side of the Hero KDA. But aside from small mistakes like that, I thought it was a pretty tightly contested, again, map up until Natural started popping off and just kind of went crazy with the Blade Storms and whatnot. But again, looking at this on the macro scale, is that bot, they have such a good they have a great way of controlling the rhythm, and a lot of that is just nullifying the Hero KDA's utility. They can't seem to find value off early smokes or early mollies, and it feels like, yes, they have a lot of utility in the bank, but then they kind of fall into the trap of, let's just try and hard clear this so we have this utility for the post plant, which, again, as we've seen, bot dominate the post plant. Again, just so well done.
Yeah, they really take their time in just really trying to get that information. It's very different to what we see from how the Hero KDA plays. Now, coming back to what I said during the halftime, where I said there were a lot of mistakes coming through from the Hero KDA. I really wanted to highlight one of them was from Olulu as a 1v4 in round number 7, and she used her ultimate. And I was questioning, why would you use your ultimate in that situation? Are you able to pull off a hero play? It was honestly, I would say, kind kind of impossible given on how exactly BOTT has been playing that post plant. It's been very clean. They have really good crossfires, and you really gotta say, like, for Koi, especially Koyali, like, it's just been really good in her holds as well as a Cypher. Regardless, that is gonna be the end for map number 1 for Series 2. After this, more of the Series 2 between BOTT as well as the hero KDA. Do not go anywhere. We'll see you right back here in VCT Game Changers Asia Pacific. Hello everyone, welcome back. This is the VCT Game Changers Asia Pacific day number 1. Now we're on series number 2 where map 1 was honestly kind of exciting to watch. BOTT taking us all.
I don't think so.
Anyways.
What? You were talking about map 1. No, map 1 was a very textbook game with, you know, a few, again, extra plays here and there, but was it exciting? I don't know.
I mean, the first half was definitely exciting to me because I didn't know what to expect from BOTT. But the hero KDA, I
That's
had an
true.
idea
That's
what
true.
to expect. Until the second half, where, I mean, not gonna lie, like, BOTT was feeling very confident. We started to see, like, you know, BOTT kind of, like, messing around. That was kind of fun to watch as well. But now, as we go into Bind, this is BOTT's map pick. And I'm excited to see what kind of set plays they have in mind and what exactly they're gonna do with this map.
That's true. And again, just to go back on the first map and maybe to just review everybody or refresh everybody on how this map veto is gonna go, or rather the map pool is gonna go. There was a lot of respect being shown on both sides. That's why they weren't going hyper aggressive or a little too defensive. They really were playing their cards right. So again, just watching the game, it's like, wow, this is really, really textbook. It's what they should be doing, but for the viewer experience, sometimes you just kind of want to see the players go crazy. I think we're going to see a little bit more of that on Bind. I'm really curious what type of comps we're going to see, Tosh, especially since double controller, double initiator, duelist is pretty much the flavor of the month for Bind for quite some time now. We haven't really seen too much Sentinel action, especially on this map specifically.
No.
But maybe, just maybe, we're gonna see a little bit more Killjoy, perhaps another Cypher, just to really enhance that lurk threat that BOTT hasn't really been showing too much.
Yeah, and we can really tell that this is BOTT's, I would say, best map. Out of the 4 wins they had not dropped a single bind, at least on the Swiss stage recently. So it's really, I'm really curious to know like what exactly they have in mind for this in particular, given the fact that for this map in particular, they're running a very, I think this is a very set comp for every single round they play on this map. It's going to be a Breach, a Jet, a double duelist rather, a Jet Raze, as well as the Sky, as well as Sova. I haven't seen Sova for a while on this map, so curious to see how they're going to be running that as well.
I think Hero's pick would be Gecko. I think we've seen a lot of teams
lot of
attempt
Gecko,
to play the
yeah.
Gecko here.
Yeah.
But I think the inherent weakness of Gecko is that, yes, his utility does recharge and you can pick it up, but it's not very safe when you do it. And to make it safe, it is a gigantic investment. So maybe that's on the table for some of the teams, depending how they want to approach this. But I think you're pretty much right on the money for most of those picks. You usually get the Raze, because Raze just dominates this map. Sky is definitely a favorite. I think Breach is honestly not a bad choice, considering Rolling Thunder is super, super valuable as an ult, despite it being a bit of a meme machine. Actually, think about the Rolling Thunder. It's probably the most frustrating ult in the game. It's honestly useless sometimes. Oh, he's stunned, but why am I dead? But going
He's
back
stunned, but he
into
got
this,
100% headshot percent rate. What happened
it's like,
there?
why? Why is this agent a meme sometimes? But again,
Yeah.
going back into that, the double
Yeah.
info with Sova and Sky and just the potency to fight, I think it's very viable. Viper, a favorite for, again, a lot of our teams. I think she's an agent that you can use on any map, but the execution is just a little difficult. Harbor Viper is actually on the table too.
Yeah, but it's definitely not something we might be seeing from both the teams, because the hero KDA, from the last few rounds that they've played, it's mostly been a Cypher, Brimstone, Fade, a Raze, as well as a Sky. So, you know, I don't think we might be seeing any changes to the lineups, in my opinion, given the fact that they probably have, I mean, the only team that really surprised us with a different comp or different style play was honestly Nyx Kyose, which honestly caught me off guard. But I really love the aggression they brought in with the agents they played. But for this one, you know, we can already expect it's going to be very aggressive on both sides. Both teams not running the the only team that's going to be running the Sentinel would be the hero KDA, honestly. And given the fact that you don't really need a Sentinel to really hold down a site on Bind, really shows like the aggression is what exactly you want to be expecting from bot. They played aggressive on Fracture, it gave them a lot of value, and if they played aggressive on Bind, I think that it was going to be the same as well. Because again, it is still a very defender-sided map, but if you're able to really brute force your way into the site and just be able to take out the backside and just hold that down, it will be huge. Now, I think one of the biggest mistakes that I saw coming in from the Hero KDA in the last map was that overextension sometimes, where they already had site,
Yeah.
they had already gone in for the plant, and then they push into CT side. So the question now was like, what exactly is your idea? Are you trying to stop them from pushing into that area for that rotate? I would have, and especially on gun deficit rounds, they didn't have the gun advantage. Why are you pushing when you know that bot would have rifles? It'll be better for them to play on the site itself, play those chokes for that advantage. Regardless, let's see if whether or not they can learn their lesson on this map, because again, Bind very similar when it comes to concept, where there's a lot of chokes, especially on attack side.
And I'm glad that you brought that up, because like map philosophy and how you want to defend the map is such an important thing for teams. For example, as you mentioned, do you want to clog up the chokes and just stop at the choke fight? Do you want to have a more open space type of fight, let them in, have a more retake oriented style, and so on and so forth? There's just so many variations of how you can do this, especially with the agents that we talked about, right? Viper is very good at both these things. She can divvy up the site and just kind of congest all that space and kind of funnel your opponents to where you want to fight, or just use her utility to, again, make that choke point that much more oppressive. And again, you talked about it too. We might not see a little bit of Harbor, but I think Harbor ult is such an amazing
good.
site-taking tool. Yeah, again, no matter how you want to play it, with those two schools of thoughts being thrown out there, do you want to hold the choke or hold the site? Either way, Harbor is going to be very strong, just difficult to use. Maybe teams might forgo that. You did bring up the Brimstone, who's been an absolute bind classic at this point. The good old let's ulti U-Haul, let's ulti you hookah and run into the site, old reliable.
Yeah, and I think that when you come into this game as well, I mean, like, there's a lot of like questions on why some maps don't need sentinels anymore. It's because I would say controllers like Harbor, Viper are already so good to come to when it comes to holding or even lurking already, that it kind of negates the value that you would have from either a Cypher or even a Killjoy. On top of that, I think the only viable, I would say, sentinel that we're going to be seeing a lot this season, I believe, would be Chamber, especially since Chamber has been made viable once again. We saw that happen with Elbiski on how Chamber was able to hold an area, and if they're a really good shot, you can get a lot of value from the Headhunter, from the Tour de Force. And because of that as well, it means economy-wise, they don't have to rely too much on the economy to be able to get the op, to be able to get a rifle, even when they're able to be using that Headhunter for that one-tap hit.
That's true. I feel like with all the things you said, you make it sound like you were the Chamber abuser, not me back in the day. But again, you know what? I'm really happy that Chamber is getting a little bit of shine, especially these days, considering that people have realized he can be a very, very good tempo sentinel, where you can push, you can be a bit more aggressive. It's just your stopping power overall is going to be hyper reliant on your ability to duel. And Elbiski just had that in spades when we did see her play. And again, maybe we should just give Chamber his old teleport back and the old Headhunter. You know what I mean? Maybe give him his old...
No!
I'm kidding. I'm
no!
joking. We don't need that. We don't need that anymore. I'm just saying.
I do not want to see a 100% pick rate for Chamber like we used to. Okay, like
It was
that's
like
enough.
97%. Come on now. It wasn't 100. It was 97. So
Where'd the 2% go, Raf?
I don't know. Somewhere that wasn't Chamber.
Regardless, we're going to be taking a quick break. When we come back, let's see what we're going to be seeing in Bind in the VCT Game Changers Asia Pacific. We'll be right back. Let's see whether or not it's gonna be a 1-1 or a 2-0. Tash Money here alongside Raf, your panelists for the day for the VCT Game Changers Asia Pacific Day number 1. Now, Raf, can you tell us a little bit about what you want to see coming into map 2?
No, absolutely not. No, I'm kidding. Map 2. Well,
He's
we
been
talked
kind
about it
of
quite a
mean
bit.
to me today, guys, and I am not here for it.
Wow. Anywho, well, Tash is like kind of mean to everybody, right? Question mark. I don't know. Actually, no. Tash is very nice. As I can feel the sniper's laser on the back of my. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, so yes, map 2. I feel like since the feeling out phase for BOTT and the KDA is pretty much over, because we saw that in the first 4 rounds of Fracture. They were basically just kind of sizing everybody up, and we were speculating what type of agents they were going to deploy on this map. We are finally going to see it. Are we going to see a Sentinel-less lineup? Yes, on one end and no on the other.
I mean, we already predicted this. We saw this happen already on the Swiss stage. I mean, we didn't see it with our own 2 eyes, but it was what we can see from the recorded matches or the info that we got. Now, I was already sort of predicting that it's gonna be this particular lineup, because I don't know, when we coming in from, at least from how both teams have played before from the Swiss stage, they tend to play what they're used to. So nothing wrong with that. It's just a matter of whether or not the team will be able to get a read out of each other based on that info. Again, no VODs available for the Swiss stages. The only information they can get is from the websites on their pre-recorded or their recorded matches. So that is going to be the only thing they can play off of, unless they have played each other before, which I think they have. Now, coming back into this particular game, the Sentinel, at least for Cali, I believe it was, or was it the Hero KDA? I'm not too sure. The Sentinel that's coming through here. Yeah, the Hero KDA. It's going to be really, really massive into making sure that they can hold the site. If they're able to get the hold on the site really well, it's going to be a big W. If they're able to get the timing on the lurk from the Sentinel as well, it's going to be huge. But aggression has always been the name for BOTT here. If they're able to get into the site quickly, it might be a problem, because the lurk might not even be successful.
Once again, my favorite takeaway of the day, and to quote the mighty duck that is Quack, they might get in there like swimmer. I just really don't know where that came from, and it's stuck with me. Does it resonate with me? No. Does it leave me confused? Quite. But again, going back to what you said, the Sentinel may provide a gigantic impact, Tash.
Let's see on whether or not that will be the issue, or is the Sentinel-less meta is going to be a thing, whether or not that's going to be true. Vic and Quack, take it away.
Do you want to take that, Quack? I feel like
Sure.
that was your responsibility, talking about swimming suits in weird places.
Well, it didn't have to be a weird place. Just it rhymes, and you gotta be confident. You gotta get in there like swimwear. This happened because I was play testing last year, and then I heard one of the other handlers say this, and I thought it was really funny, and I'm stealing it now. But yeah, that's the whole point. We've got this double duelist composition from one team, and it's worked out great so far. If we can see the Hero KDA kind of similar to what Tash was talking about, perhaps, and how they can adjust around this, given the composition that they have, on the other hand, they might be able to come back. But as it stands right now, you got to be leaning towards BOTT a little bit more.
Both teams, though, are very good at buying. Both teams are also very good on the attacker side. So, I think at this rate, it's going to be interesting. Hero KDA is on the attack side right now, and while BOTT does look like the stronger team at the moment, Hero KDA starting on the attacker side, they're going to have to try to get as many rounds in as possible. They do have a very different composition, as you mentioned, BOTT with a double duelist once more. I can imagine a lot of aggressive and fast play styles coming out. And I love how our observer loves Tactibear. Like, there's just Tactibears in places I didn't know existed. Yeah. I didn't even know there were that many.
Shoutouts to Darian and Ashton. They just know like all the different Tactibear spots. That's how much Valorant experience they have. But at the same time, I mean, Sentinel-less composition, we've kind of seen stuff like this before. And as long as you're aggressive enough, you're able to hold down the site, you don't have to worry about your flank so much. And that's what's happening right now, especially on the defensive side when they're peeking out. They've managed to come out with a trade.
Yeah, they start off with just full contact of B long. Each team taking out one.
And that's about that. Sky smoked
about that.
off. Everyone goes into sight. We got the spike plant,
Spike
and we
planted.
set up for retakes. Just gonna have to wait for the smokes to dissipate, though. Oh, okay. Using their own little brim sky smoke as a bit of an extension to caterpillar into sight. Look at this, Naturel. She knows that there are two players in front of her, though, so gonna have to rely on the trades that find that damage. Meta win, able to collect on towards another. But now, by this point, Bagel's positioning is the biggest thorn in her side.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one for Metawin with the crossfire set up, but one of them does have low HP, but she doesn't seem to know she's right behind her.
Oh, she heard the camera and tried to flick onto it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it was Snow. So that's the pistol round won by Hero KDA.
Yeah. Hero KDA, getting that pistol round. Pistol rounds feel like they are often overlooked. It's just low economy. You're going in with pistols, maybe a couple of util, but we forget that pistol round wins means that you move into that next round with superior firepower.
Yeah, right? Translates to even more, and if you remember what happened on Fracture, Hannah got like an ace off of the pistol round, so it could happen again. But now that they're on the attacking side, it's going to be Snow collecting on even more heads.
Good God.
Triple kill outside of B-Long. BOTT are just running into these bullets, and clean round for Hero KDA.
Yeah, Hero KDA read that well. Just waited for them to push out, and they walked right into it.
Not supposed to happen.
Yeah, but they do have rifles now in hand. Hero KDA lost no one, so still has full armor, full specters.
Just maybe a bit of that, like, GG go next. But yeah, the Spectres on the attacking side, still gonna have to be a little bit careful. So
Not getting
Capybot,
that info.
forward position, backing off, confirming that it is indeed an A hit. The rotations aren't necessarily going through just yet.
Snow trying to get as much space as possible in the lamps, getting that control there.
Which is a good position to hold. Effectively blocks off another route of entry.
Look what BOTT's doing. They're getting ready.
Here we go.
I see them line up like this.
They're the ones with the rifles too, but they have to be so careful. Hannah seizes the initiative, goes into the sky smoke, Spectre in hand, tries to burst them down, but only able to get 2. Good enough damage though, and it's just buying even more time. Snow and Olulu playing together in tandem, swinging out around truck. They managed to hold out that defuse. It's a perfect 3-0 bonus round start for the Hero KDA.
Running into those smokes with a rifle, but when you're up against someone with a Spectre, it can get real ugly, as Hana proved over here.
Very, very disgusting.
Absolutely.
You can see that's what I'm talking about. You gotta get in there like swimwear. If you're not inside these smokes, if you're not rushing in, then your opponent's gonna do that to you. So
I'm gonna be
BOTT kind of
honest.
hesitated for a second.
You're right. You're absolutely right. But when this swimwear thing, I kind of think you guys were referring to wedgies. That's why I was like, that's so
No!
interesting.
That is not what I mean at all. But okay, moving on. It's gonna be the Hero KDA. They're now into sight. We've got the spike planted. You've got Bagel watching the flank. And BOTT's really struggling to find any semblance of victory right now.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself. Snow just easily taking the 2 down. Well, it's got nothing but sheriffs in their hands. This is a near impossible situation.
Yeah, just choose
Crossfire
right through.
set up.
And we know bot doesn't want to give any ult points to them, so they're just holding the exits. But all right, that's a good start.
Yeah.
Gonna be able to pick off one hit, pick up Phantom, and
Yeah, that's yeah.
escape. Cappybot had to die to the spike to ensure that she would receive her round loss bonus. But apart from that, it still is a 4-0 start for the hero KDA.
Yep, proving their superiority on attacker sided. And they definitely want to collect as many as possible because once that swap happens, it's gonna be tough. You know, tougher on defense for hero KDA.
There.
Yeah. And it is bind after all. Got a lot of options, especially with the teleporter plays that these teams could make use of. That's it stands. Again, it's just brute force and firepower. Showstopper onto sight. Natural spends the tailwind to get out of dodge, but now the Prowlers going in to connect on towards their opponents. Bot are trying to hold their ground.
They're wisely
Taken
just
down.
shifting their tactics.
Shifting sights too. Now Bitterbot trying to connect some crispy headshots as well. That's a second. And then she gets traded by Alulu. Spike plant will now come through.
Spike planted.
And Callie's still sitting on quite a bit of utility. Trying to save that up for the retake. Trailblazer will be deployed just to clear out the initial points of entry. And now, okay, recon out. Surely we start pushing. Olulu with that angle, though, still deadly. Callie finally makes a play.
Last player
Now looking on
standing.
to the second. She finds the headshot as well. Aisling with her orbital strike and the incendiary grenade lineups just buys enough time. They know that she's hiding somewhere and they want to hunt her down, but
Open up the sky.
not quite able to pull it off. It's just gonna be the orbital strike that gets burned. No wins for bot yet, but starting to look a little bit better perhaps.
Yeah, it is starting to look a little bit better. They've managed to save 2 rifles. And they fished out, they knew exactly what was going to happen. Managed to fish out that orbital strike at the very least. It was going to happen anyway.
Might as well.
I think we're going to see some eggs broken coming into this next round. Like you said, it's starting to shape up a little bit for bot.
And that's just again how bot are looking to come back into the game. They're sitting on some ultimates. Their retakes on Fracture were pretty pristine, but now not quite able to pull it off just yet.
Smoke. Open up the sky.
With this kind of comp on bot, defense is just really tough.
Really tough. Sometimes caught lacking as well. Meadowin now trying to set up for that retake.
Spike planted.
Similar composition to what we saw in Fracture, just not quite that same coordination. Seeker's being sent out now though. Showstopper at hand, which is blindly
choice.
fired.
Yeah, interesting choice of the showstopper ending up by truck. Defuse is coming in though.
Wait, they stuck it!
Defuse right under their nose.
I saw the incendiary and I thought it was the post plant coming through, but they just stick it all the way through.
Yeah. I mean, it was already almost defused at that point, so
Yeah.
the wise chose to stick that defuse. But they did burn through all their ults just to get that one round.
Again, just gotta have that confidence to go in for it, especially if you know your opponents are playing for post-plant lineups. Sometimes that can be effective. So first round won by bot now.
My ult's ready. What's this?
Oh, getting info with that bird.
Certainly find too much though.
Now they're hanging out by B long. Sky's trading their util.
Can I pet that dog? No, you can't.
Tasmanian tigers going on the prowl.
Oh, they're not gonna find anything. Just a little bit of info. Rotations being pulled over and Cappy bot.
God, timing here could be painful. Cappy bot doesn't seem to know Bagel's hanging out.
Is that the plan? They're hovering outside the teleporter as well. Hero KDA just waiting for the go signal.
Look at this crouching meta. Everyone's just ducking. You don't want to get hit by that blade storm. Corpse going through the teleporter.
Cage triggered.
Just within a single frame. Suddenly her head's gone. Strawberry Beagle somehow able to
30
recover
seconds
from that movement. Crouch sprays and it works. 30 seconds left for the Hero KDA to plant the spike or to make a move. And bot are just hovering around the right sites. However, losing Cappy bot, this brings us back to a 3-on-3.
10
Spike
seconds
plant
left.
coming through now.
Spike planted.
Natural with the updraft. She's throwing those knives down onto her opponents. One left.
One
She
enemy
runs out.
remaining.
Back to the Vandal. But her teammates have already arrived on the crime scene. Put up the tape because bot has secured it 2-5.
All right.
We're ticking
Bots
away.
found their footing. Those knives. We're really gonna miss those double updrafts, huh? But
Yeah.
I think Natural just proved you only really need one.
With this one, yeah. That's all she did.
Yeah. This Bagel hit here. That was lucky. That was lucky. Managed to escape with her life.
Also potentially slightly misplayed by her opponent, but it's all good in the hood. It's 2-5. And bot's still trying to come back.
So many birds happening. These guys just keep meeting each other.
It's a zoo out here, Vic.
Yeah. It's wild.
It's a bird park.
It's wrong bird park over here. Unbind.
But what it really is still is just information. Now they can kind of confirm that A is clear. And the hit's
know
definitely
exactly
coming
where
towards B, but peeking out. Unfortunately, not quite able to survive. You might
Bagel
even
has
just
so
see.
much information.
Spike planted.
They know exactly. Well, I mean, Cypher says it knows exactly where they are.
Oh.
And all they have to do is really face
I
one
must wait a
direction.
moment.
Yeah. Just waiting for it as well. Even bits of utility or just blind fire. It's extra pressure for bot.
Cage triggered.
Do they still want to go for this retake? Because at this point, they just don't have enough time. So kind of hovering around the exit. They're forced to take certain fights, but really not quite able to secure anything. It's Bagel who finds the 4th frag in this round. And a 6-2 scoreline for her team.
This is timeout is great at this point. I think we're seeing a very different bot than the first the first game that we've just witnessed. They seem a lot more disjointed. Their post-plant retakes aren't as coordinated as just now. And they're really gonna need to get it together because Hero KDA is getting these sites pretty easily and managing to keep them out.
Yeah, especially if you're even thinking about getting information. If you want to peek out at B-Long, you're going to have to do it with conviction. I mean, either together as a team or if you want to trade, you got to go in for it. But Cali, along with Natural, just weren't quite able to do what they've done before. And that just instantly turned things into a 3-on-5 where when they went in for that retake, by that point, only about 20 seconds left on the timer. You could feel the pressure, and they weren't able to find any angles whatsoever. And that's just well played by the Hero KDA as well. Getting that contact, getting full control over the site, and setting those post-plant positions up just to deny that retake again. So
And they're just and they're getting so much information. Like you're saying, like Hero KDA is just playing really well with the Sky, with the Fade, getting early info, and then closing it off with Cypher ultis.
I'll find
Right?
you.
The 6 assists that Alulu is sitting on right now.
Take hold. Satchel out.
Insanely useful for retrieving information and at the same time exploding onto site, but this time the follow-up not quite there. It's gonna be Bitterbot who actually finds the first shot.
Do they know there are 3 people stuffed into showers right
One
now?
less.
Sure they have an idea.
Yeah, look at them switching it up right now. They're not coming from spawn anymore.
Alright, now we gotta top up Naturel. The hard hitters of bot, and we really need them to find their impact in this round. But look at Olulu! With the angles, and Bagel getting the final frag as well. 2-7. The Hero KDA are looking unstoppable.
Yeah. They're looking really strong right now. They're looking like the Hero KDA that we have expected coming into this series. Just looking really good.
And, yeah, it's just the way that they're pushing. Bot, unfortunately, again, not quite finding that solution just yet, even with the timeout from their coach, though. So now just, I guess, tapering back a little bit, hiding inside of lamps, on the other side of stack. A bit of a crossfire setup inside of hookah, but oh, look at Hero KDA.
Bot's gonna need 1 or 2 more rounds to enter into the second half of this game a lot more comfortably.
They lose this round or even the next, and that's potentially a 9-3, maybe even worse, a 10-2. But they're giving them so much space. The Hero KDA, they've managed to secure alt orbs. Now the Seeker's being pulled out, and Naturel is pinned down. Still able to dish out a bit of hurt, though. Takes out Bagel. And we thin out their hurt. Seeker's coming out from bot's side. But it's the teleporter going through as well. Now, already control over the site. It's going to be bot kind of catching up to their pace.
30 seconds left.
Spike planted.
Yeah. Bot does know what's up though. Coming in together from spawn.
Oh, it's the same angle. Hannah's holding it this time. Spotting some heads. That's Callie gone. Bot, we've got to do this together. Just peeking into these individual angles one by one, trying to deal with Hannah, trying to deal with Iceling. Unfortunately, they fall short.
Harder and harder for bot right now. We're at a 2-8. They're gonna, going into this very last round of this half, they're gonna have to secure at least 1 more. Otherwise, it's gonna be a near impossible climb going into that second half.
Certainly starting to look that way. Both raises sitting on their ultimates.
Bring them down.
But again, the ultimate orbs, if any one of them can be collected by either team, could be looking at more impactful ultimates as well. Hero KDA, though, it's just meandering across the map. They go back towards the A site. And once more, bot are forced to kind of respect this space. Showstopper from Snowkey, and she's not going to be able to find that damage. In fact, it's Bitterbot who takes her down. Callie, though, caught with utility out in hand now. No recon either. It's going to be a Nightfall along with the Orbital Strike to kind of hold off the spike plant, but it goes through anyway. Bitterbot, a second shot with the Sheriff. Now looking for even more. Most of the Hero KDA's players backed off in towards the Showers position this time. Playing for post plant. There's the Orbital Strike. Headshot angle dismissed, though. And we might just be able to stick the spike defuse to halfway, but you gotta watch these angles together. Naturel finding the first shot and then the third. Securing the win for bot this time. It's a thrifty win and a 3-8 scoreline.
All right, bot's still here to play.
One enemy remaining.
you know, going in with nothing but sheriff, some of them even half armor and a sheriff, getting that showstopper out created so much space that was really critical for them to get that defuse down and getting that round that they so desperately need. Can they do one more though? And if they do, I think we got a game here. But you could tell Hero KDA is thinking very much the same thing, and their coach wants to have a chat to make sure they make it as difficult as possible. Oh my god, it's another tactic
Hey!
in hookah? Did you know he was there? Okay, that one's surprising to
No.
me because this is less obvious.
I had no idea that this was here. But this is great.
Hey.
Thank you very much,
Hey.
observers. Now, like, if Vic's going to play mini games in Pacific, she knows all the secret spots.
I know. Achilles is gonna be so mad. He's like, "Why do you know all these? He hates losing these death games." Now I know.
Right. But hey,
Yes.
we got scoreline 3-8. This could be a 4-8. It could be a 3-9. I think either way. It depends on how bot recovers once more. I mean, mentally speaking, they haven't been doing so well towards the start of this map. And then towards the end, just slowly starting to find their groove. A little bit better coordinated in these retakes.
That tactic bear was like staring into my soul just now. That was weird. It's like, come on, bot, you got this.
Is that what Tactiver is saying?
Yeah, tactic bear wants good games. You know, we don't
True.
want a rollover kind of game. That guiding light, trying to get as much intel as possible in B long, and they respond with their own animal and kind.
Prowler, it's different. It's not a dog, it's a cat. But into the site though. Blind shots through the smokes are the cyber cage, and Metawin actually hits onto a hit.
I know
Now trying to track with the spray transfer. Not quite catching a Lulu. Hannah on the lurk. And we're tied up to a 3-on-3. Incendiary's thrown out just to try to
Ooh,
push
just
anyone off.
hanging out.
Stim
An
beacon down.
elbow.
It's not a bad smoke though for Bitterbot to actually throw down. It ensures that Bagel cannot push past that.
Standing.
And that's how Bot will be able to come back in a little bit stronger. Aisling's still alive though, but the satchel throws her off. And that's how we end with a 4-8 instead of a 3-9.
Tactic bear stared into their soul.
Tactibear.
Tactic buff. Yeah. Well, we got a game. 4-8. Bot making sure this map stays in their hands, stays in their control. They're going into attacker-sided next, and I think we could see something happening here. Could be a reverse sweep, so let's check it out.
Yeah, Tash and Ref. I mean, do you think it's going to be a comeback? We'll find out. Tash and Ref, take it away.
Ken, we're gonna find that out definitely for sure, but it felt like in the first, I would say, the beginning of the game, it was a lot in the favor of the hero KDA. They're really good with brute forcing. They know how exactly to break onto the site itself, and it's just so good for them on how exactly they're gonna play this. Strawberry Bagel is just so great at not only just taking that first contact, but you can see that how she takes that first contact, and also like her shots have been very, very crisp. On top of that, I really like seeing how they exactly explode onto the site. Yes, we're seeing a lot of, I would say, risk fights coming in from a bot. They want to take this fights, but by the time they want to get onto the site, it's a little bit too late, and the set plays that the hero KDA has for that post plant makes it very, very hard for them to play for the retakes.
Yeah, and another thing is that comp-wise, it's like, you know, they want to hit hard, they want to hit fast, they have a lot of utility to take open space and get a lot of duels with any double duelist. But on the side of, I believe it's the hero KDA, there's just a lot of no. You know, I don't want to deal with that. I'll throw out my Prowler first. We have the Cypher traps, we have the Cypher cages, and we have a guiding light of our own to trade evenly. So even if they can burst onto the site, well, again, there's just a lot of denying and whatnot. we do see bot being a bit of a slow starter. I think this is very, very similar to what it was like for them on Fracture.
Yeah.
But as our casters mentioned, they have been slowly picking up the pace.
Yeah, we didn't really see them shine toward the end of the first half. And even then, I think you mentioned to me that we're starting to see Natural really start to pop off. She's really just trying to drag the team to the end of the finishing line. Let's see if this will actually translate in the second half. So Victoria and Vic, let's see the second half of the game.
Vic
happens.
is on the other, the other broadcaster right now. That's what you mean? There is actually another Vic, so maybe Tash has not gone insane. But this bind, we were talking about this earlier. Both of these teams are very good at bind. Both of these teams, however, are also very attacker prominent. They're much better on the attacker side. Now, going with the 4-8 scoreline, bot could come back now that they are on the attacker side, and you can see them trying to push into halls, getting a lot of info with their dog, Tasmanian tiger. I can't call it a dog anymore. It's not a dog.
Okay, yeah, actually, I was gonna say, what is a tiger? It's not a dog. Tiger's a cat.
It's actually a marsupial. It's not even a tiger. It's
It's
a
a marsupial.
It's a marsupial. Is that
Alright.
crazy?
Well, we
So
argue
confusing.
about what do you call this? I don't know, animals. It's just gonna be bot quickly taking control over the A site, but then here comes the hero KDA with their retake.
Player standing.
Much better protocols, waiting off of Olulu's blinds and then pushing in. Meta win again, trying to trade off, but this time without full teammates, without full clear procedures, it's gonna be the hero KDA with a pistol win.
This is a little painful. It's not unrecoverable at this point at a 4-9 scoreline, but it is going to be very uncomfortable and, a bit difficult. I'm curious to see if they're going to force buy this to really ensure that this stays in the bag for them.
Definitely gonna have to make something happen right here, right now. That's what I'm wondering, but no force buys or anything coming out of bot, and they are moving forward quite quickly. Definitely attacker-oriented with their double duelist composition, but you're gonna need to find ways to tamper with the hero KDAs and their retakes and their information gathering, especially with Olulu and her guiding light.
Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? Hero KDA just has so much information, power on their side, and that alone can. It's just so easy to retake site.
Oh no.
These util
So that's
trades.
why. Pink shells in. Natural not quite able to do anything, just creating a bit of space with that mobility,
Spike
but
planted.
instantly dismissed. Hallie trying to find bits of impact as well, hiding up around A short, but she's already been sussed out. Her teammates decimated. And it's the hero KDA reaching double digits, Vic.
Yeah, double digits. It's a 4-10 scoreline right now. They have most of their guns still in hand.
There.
Bot's really gonna need this one. It's gotta buy up now, get those rifles, and they have to win this.
Well, if not, you are looking at a potential match point, and very possibly, which would be good for the hero KDA, a 1-1 scoreline, which would put us into a third map of Ascent. And I don't want to think about what happens if we go into Ascent, because it's just going to be another mirror composition. But
Yep.
Bot,
Good
for the
old
time
Ascent.
being, trying to turn things around on its head. You know, they've got quite the number of weapons, especially given the fact that they saved up from before, but not quite able to shoot it down. Snow and Olulu, the double team duo with their specters, just able to pepper them full of holes.
Oh, they're fast rotating onto A. They know that Hero KDA is Probably getting ready to B, but that rotation, look how quickly they're coming onto A. Spike is not even down yet.
Through short as well, Vic. Already spamming. Got positions on top of heaven. The smoke's a little bit delayed.
This is scary.
And Bitterbot's just pinned down inside. She tries to go in for the swing 1-on-3, but completely surrounded. It's the hero KDA. And they just walked away with yet another bonus round win.
It's starting to look like both of the teams are dropping their map picks right now. Yeah, it's gonna take a miracle at this point for BOTT.
A little bit more convincing win coming out from the hero KDA, if I'm being honest. 11-4. I mean, we ended the other one 13-8.
Yeah.
So desperate timeout being called right now. The last one in their pockets.
Well, there isn't many rounds left for them either way. And with a double duelist comp, they're going to have to do something a little bit differently now. What they've been doing clearly hasn't been working, and they're losing chances.
Yeah. Just don't have that many left. And while our observer looks for another Tactibear, we'll be looking at this
That's
poster of a rat.
That's a rat. That's not a Tactibear. Observer. Give me another Tactibear.
Maybe there
Why
aren't
do we
any
have
more.
rat?
on
Why
Vibe.
is there a rat here? What is this poster all about?
It's, we don't want any rat plays.
No rat plays? Yeah.
No rat plays.
No rat plays unbind. There's so many rat plays unbind though, especially in U-Haul. Lance.
With the shotguns? That's something that we haven't
right.
really seen yet.
Actually, true.
Well, just thinking about it. The bot. Trying to find different ways to approach it. Timeout being called on a round where they don't have guns. So you gotta really think what this is all about.
They've completely split up. Trying to get any info. Get any first picks. But Hannah knows.
Oh my
Oh
goodness!
no! Oh, well coordinated. Hannah kills him though.
Sees as well, yeah. Orbital strike, not necessary. It's just to throw them off.
Now she goes to the teleport and gets a third kill. Looking for the fourth, and then the ace again! 2 aces in one day for this girl!
Hannah's on fire right now.
Girls just want to have fun. I don't.
Yeah, and she definitely is.
Spike down B.
Beautiful kills.
I like the one
Excellent
with the
plays by
Cs.
Hannah. Yeah, the one with the C's. I mean, honestly, I would have liked to see them get deep fried, but Hannah just wanted that ace and got her ace. Well deserved.
And that's match point.
Yeah.
Now we're wondering, what's BOTT's timeout all about? Because if it doesn't do much, especially in this round, of all rounds, that's going to be painful. And looking at Natural, just walking into every single one of these tripwires. Bagel is just getting so much information off of this.
Spike down B.
Your trail.
Off of that information, Crag, Olulu outside of B main. Trying to find some trades. CappyBot comes back in to peek. And then the Odin! Natural, though, managing to take down whoever's coming up from defender spawn. Leaves Strawberry Bagel as the last one left alive. Where she won't be able to find too much, given how Natural has reawakened. It's 5-12, though. Tough comeback.
It's going to be a really tough comeback. I mean, this was well played by BOTT. I mean, honestly, it might be too little too late. They finally figured it out, but it's a hard hill to climb.
Let's start this
Really difficult. A single mistake and that's it. Here KDA will be able to push us into map 3. And I think... yeah, they just swapped off of an Odin back into a rifle. Prowler through the teleporter clears out side of Kuka. Execute's coming through, but jumped onto the tripwire. That's a free kill for Olulu. Trade's coming through though. Off of it, it's going to be the push from Catbot as well as Manowin. And Aisling, unfortunately, not quite able
Last player
to find the
standing.
frag inside of the Sky Smoke.
Spike planted.
Snow getting caught out as well. Hannah comes in to take matters into her own hands, but Callie says no. We will be going into another round, 6-12.
Well, looks like Bot is not the one who were making the mistakes this time. And it's always like that, you know, when you hit this match point, suddenly the other team just, you know, when you know that's your last chance, you just give it your all. And often it's just so funny how this works. It doesn't matter, even in like the top tier pro plays down to your ranked games, somehow that match point, the other team starts to come back a little bit. At least one more.
One more, that's what it's all about. Here comes Bot again. Snow tries to trade it out, but Cappy Bot finding the trades instead. Showstopper is available. But I guess we don't really... Okay, here we go, here we go. We're gonna use it anyway to secure the round, secure some more kills. Meanwhile, Olulu as well as Aisling coming up from behind of A Short. There is a rifle on the ground.
There is a rifle on the ground. Very tempting. This is gonna be a bit tough, but Aisling gets that first kill, and it's a 3-2, making it a lot more achievable, but they start walking into Meta's crosshairs. 7-12.
Bit of
That.
a self flash as well, Vic. If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I think she tried to whip
Part of the
it
game.
towards Cappybot's position. I mean, not Cappybot, Metawin's position, but it didn't really quite find it. So she thought that it might have been clear, and that's why they walked up front so, I don't know, carelessly.
Mm-hmm. Well, it cost them.
7-12.
I would like to see their economy right now, and it looks like Hero KDA is using their last timeout too.
Just looking to secure that round win. But, you know, we talked about this before. I'm going to bring it up again. When you bring up timeouts at this juncture, especially when you're just at match point, you're also giving your opponent a chance to kind of talk to each other.
Mm-hmm. That's
so
right.
Bot's reconsidering.
Yeah. I mean, timeouts work on both ends, and we are at a critical point right now. Oh my god, another tactic bear. Right
Where
here.
is this one? Where is here?
Is it? Where is this?
Is this showers?
I feel like it's showers, but I don't remember seeing this ledge ever.
Seems like it might be.
Oh my goodness.
Unless it's market somehow. But still.
Possibly. Mysteries of life. But I'm curious what Hero KDA has in mind. They want to close this out because Bot is creeping a little too close for comfort.
5 rounds is what we need for match point. I mean, overtime, excuse me. I say that, and then Nashville just kind of falls flat. Push is actually headed towards the B site. Shock Dart good to kind of clear out the trips, but the entire site kind of engulfed in smokes. How do you take control over it? Because your opponents could peek out at any time.
Spike
There's the
planted.
first flash. Olulu's still very much alive, and the retake's coming underway. And that's all they were looking for. Neural theft, but Metawin's too far away. Olulu sticking the defuse all the way through. And we shall end the second map with a 13-7. Map 3 will happen.
Hero KDA managed to keep themselves in the game after what looked like a really weak first map, but that second map, Hero KDA stepped up looking like the heroes that they are named after, going really strong into Bind, taking BOTT's own map pick right from beneath their feet.
Took them a little while, but finally, you know, just making the right call to stick with a retake. They collected enough ultimate points, and that's all they needed, was just that one decisive moment to bring things back. I mean, they had such a good lead, and such a stark contrast to how we saw BOTT perform in that first map of Fracture.
Yes, that's right. And with a double duelist comp from BOTT going into Bind, I think we were expecting something very different, but a lot of it fell through and it looked like they had lost control there. But I'm very excited to see what we're going to, see the performance from both teams going into this third map in this best of 3. But you know what? We're going to go back to the panelists and they're going to break more of map 2 down into detail. Tash and Raph, tell us more.
Wow, there is a lot to say about that particular game, but first of all, I just really want to say I would say congratulations to the Hero KDA. I would say that, you know, mental-wise, they really managed to pull themselves together coming into the second game, and you can see a lot of confidence coming through. We can start to see that, you know, what made the Hero KDA so fun to watch in the previous Open was just how much fun they have as a team, and as coming into the game, you can really see that shine, especially on Bind. So that was really fun to see, and I think that because they changed the mindset coming into this game, it really gave them a lot of momentum that really broke the momentum that, you know, that BOTT was hoping to ride on as they headed into Bind.
Yeah, and there were so many moments where everybody on the side of the Hero KDA basically, again, stepped up to the plate and very true to their name, had a lot of hero plays. I think Hannah had her second ace in this series alone, and we had Olulu go crazy with that 4K from, I think it was on top of Garbage. And I thought we nearly see it happen again. I think Hannah was on bench this time. But in any case, I feel like where it really went wrong was at the start of the game. I feel like on the side of BOTT, they really wanted to ride the momentum and ride the wave coming in from Fracture onto this map, knowing that this is their pick. But with them doing that, they kind of slid a little bit and ended up kind of losing their foundation as a team that will just take their time to assess what's happening. But
yeah,
we still have a third map, Tash, so, you know, anything can still happen.
I feel like the double duelist comp for the side of BOTT was really shut down. You didn't really see the value that you can expect from Natural. Yes, toward the last part of the first half, you did see her come online, but that didn't last too long, because as they shifted into second half, you start to see that reset of momentum coming through once again from the side of the Hero KDA. On top of that, the Sentinel pick that was chosen by the Hero KDA gave a lot of value to their teammates. I'm not talking about the Strawberry Bagel. The Strawberry Bagel was just the one who put down the util and then moved out of the way. She played in a different area. Her teammates on the side got value from the strips, from the cage, and all they had to do was just simply spray. It was very, very hard for them to really take the side. So overall, I think it was a really good match coming in for the Hero KDA. Seems like really, let's see whether or not the BOTT will be able to pull themselves together to really take a home map number 3, or will the Hero KDA keep on having fun and bring us the Hero KDA's fun and joyful playstyle. But before that, we're going to be taking a quick break. When we come back, map 3 coming right at you.
Launching smoke. Open up the sky.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Open up the sky.
Strike down B. One enemy remaining.
Trial.
As it was always said by PaperX, sometimes the teams that have the most fun might just win the games, and that is exactly what we saw in
I
map
wish
number
Paper
2.
X won.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. But anyways, coming back here, welcome to the VCT Game Changers Asia Pacific. Raf and Tash here on the desk. And we are going to be seeing a game number 3. And we talk about people who are having fun. And I think that this is relevant at this time, Raf, where I would say playstyle and having fun does translate into the outcome of a game. Where we start to see that that the hero KDA was able to reset themselves mentally after the 13-8 loss. Coming into this game, they decided, you know what, I think we need to be more loose. Let's try to a little bit to play on our strengths here, where speed and brute force is just what works. And Hannah, with the 2 aces for today, girl, are you kidding me?
And, you know, comfort is such a big thing, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you can layer so many combos together. You can fade, nade, combo this and that. But strat doesn't matter when you can't, you know, hit your shots.
Yeah.
Nice strat, nerd. Too bad.
Yeah.
And that's one of the best things about Valorant. There's just so much variety to it.
That's why, and I think that when you talk about comfort, like I really want to highlight a few things here. Now, in map number 1, we didn't see them play on the agents they are comfortable playing. Like, let's be real here, Olulu was on the breach instead of a Sky, and you can see how much differently they play once they're on their comfort agents once again. Because, you know, sometimes when it comes to playing that comfort agent, it's kind of like you're so used to playing them, you're more comfortable and more confident on those agents, and it really translated into this map in particular. Now for BOTT, I feel like in this particular map, while it does look so great on Fracture, that double duelist, but coming into this map, it really felt like they were really shut down. It was in a situation where their jet wasn't able to get any value. As soon as you know, the Raze was on the site, it's gonna be a trip or even a cage just stopping them. So the question now is, Ascent, how exactly are you gonna be playing this? Because in the previous series, we did talk about Nana and friends being very good on the, I would say, the default kind of sort of play. Now, but when you come into this series, are a little bit more about being aggressive. How do you translate aggression into a map like Ascent?
Well, you're already seeing it here on the attacker side with Midwin Natural actually shifting roles, going onto that Sova, perhaps just trying to get that, again, value as a bit of a cleanup fragger, a bit of a flex. But how you want to aggress this, double Inni is definitely one of the more viable ways to do it, plus Oben, who's the most mobile controller. And I just got to get this off my chest real quick.
Yeah.
My goodness, Ascent is terrible. I hate this map. Anywho. I mean, how many times have we seen this specific comp? Like,
Yeah.
of course, we're gonna see the Killjoy KO, right? But at least there's a little bit of variety. It does seem like everybody on the side of bot is still more oriented towards fighting in open space and
Yeah.
dominating
Select
those
your
types of
agent.
engagements, while we have something a little more default on the side of the hero KDA here. That KO timing, I believe, is going to be very, very important into the series, though.
Yeah, especially if they know how to time the knife properly and actually act on that. That's really, really, I think, massive. Now, one of the biggest takeaways here is that for map number 1, we did not see the value conversion for the early utility coming in for the hero KDA. If they want that value to come through, they need to be acting on these utilities. Now, we are going to be seeing Olulu on that KO, but what's really important to me is looking at Snowkey on this Jet. And we know that Snowkey on the Jet is one of her comfort agents. She's very quick on it. She can be very, very sharp. Let's see how exactly she's going to be playing this coming onto the map itself. It's going to be very exciting to see how exactly they, I would say, execute on attack side compared to defensive side. Because again, defensive sided map, set play, set blah, 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 coming through. But you know who else will be able to really make this map super exciting for us? Of course, it's going to be Victoria and Quack. I got it right this time. Take it away, guys.
She got it right.
She did get it right. She got her names right. You're not Victoria. You are Quack.
Sadly.
Sadly. Look, you're the only duck in town. Look, we're going to end today with Ascent. We started the day with Ascent. We're going to end the day with Ascent and good old Ascent. I can't say I hate the map like Raph. I think I've come to appreciate it in a way because it is one of the oldest maps. It's like in Italy, gelato, we got pizza, we got market. It's like all the images of Italy. But that's
just named a bunch
of
food.
I know. I think I'm hungry right now. But what I really like about Ascent, besides that, it's so crazy. It doesn't even matter what tier of game we're playing here. It always goes into overtime because everyone knows the map so well. What that means is you have to be creative on this map because everyone knows this map. Everyone knows how to play this map. And when you have all these different comps, you almost know what to expect. So it forces you to be creative. Otherwise, it's just down to pure gunplay, sometimes luck. So it's really up to these teams, up to these coaches to think of something more clever. So I'm hoping we're going to see that come out as we finish off today and the first day of Last Chance qualifiers.
I'm really inclined to agree. It's you live by Ascent, you die by Ascent. It's that true test of. I mean, that's why the whole DRX strategy of the tiles crunch came about. It's because they were one of the first teams to kind of innovate and figure out how to utilize this composition and come up with something truly creative that will catch your opponents off guard. We haven't really seen that so far in this LCQ. I mean, granted, it is just day one, but a lot of the teams are going with that same composition. Always the Sova KO. The only team that might do something different is BOTT, and I think maybe they have, and I'm not quite sure how that plays out. So I'm a little bit curious.
Well, it's the first time we're not seeing that double duelist comp from BOTT. So yeah, I think that's it. It's going to be a bit curious how they're going to play this out. And really, at this point, it's anyone's game. Both of these teams are good at Ascent. A lot of teams are good at Ascent. And again, it just comes down to that creativity. And yeah, maybe like Tash said, it's when we talk about fun, it could also translate to, again, creativity and thinking out of the box here and doing something a little bit different. I think we want to see more than just full pushes into one side or the other. We want to see some of that mid control. We want to see really smart mid rounding calls. And I hope we end today on a high note, whatever it is, that we get a good game.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. I mean, for LCQ or just the Game Changers APAC scene in general, it's a lot of growth from all these teams because they're being put to the test on this stage. And yeah, it might be a double elimination bracket, but again, you want to find as many wins as possible. Either one of these teams could get knocked down the lower bracket, and along with that, their chances and hopes and dreams of making it and qualifying to Game Changers APAC Elite. So you gotta find whatever you can get. And this is where it starts. Again, it's always Ascent. I don't hate this map either, but you want to see something creative. And I'm not so sure if we're going to see that right now. What it stands out to me more is kind of how just the mental game come in between both teams. Because what we saw in Fracture was that one team could go really aggressive. BOTT was able to come up with huge retakes, cleaner protocols, and cleaner plays. And then on Bind, that got completely flipped. So something must have happened somewhere where someone lost confidence or the coordination just wasn't quite there. I mean, mind melding was a word that you used before, Vic, but we didn't hear that at all on Bind.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that was BOTT's strength ultimately, was on that first map when they played so cohesively as a team. And in the second map, yeah, it just was nowhere to be seen. And Hero KDA just with a lot of gunpowder, just taking away that map from them. And this is why we're here right now, going in this map 3 with Bind. We've seen some really well-timed timeouts by the coaches, and those timeouts did tend to pay off. All 4 of those timeouts being used, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of that here. And they are trying to, outstrat each other. But again, we're going to Ascent, and everyone knows the map so well. I wonder if we're ever going to see an Ascent update, because we get all these updates on other maps, but I guess Ascent is just one of those really well balanced maps.
It really is one of those, you don't have to fix all too much. It's a little bit defender sided, but just because it's been so rehearsed and practiced, every single team kind of has that single optimized composition now. There's no other way to play it, and it's just that good. But at the same time, you were talking about coach timeouts, and what we've seen so far is that they kind of use those timeouts not to necessarily call like a big strat or anything. In fact, they use it to kind of correct the course, right the ship a little bit, see some tiny mistakes. All right, maybe you got to be doing this instead. And sometimes it's called an odd timing. Not to blame the coaches or anything, of course, but we don't always see that impact, and that's something that has to be changed for both teams, these girls right now at this very stage, because again, it's high stakes. This is that last map in the series.
Yeah, these 2 teams are in the upper bracket right now, but this is the last chance qualifier. We have 6 teams already reared up and ready to go for Elite, and there's only room for 2 more, and that's what we're going to find out by the end of these next few days. And a lot of these teams are looking really good right now. But what I want to see is a little bit more consistency, a little bit more confidence. Confidence is such a crazy big factor when it comes to game changers. And you see when a team is confident, they win. It's incredible at just how much that mental factor comes into play.
Fake it till you make it. But you know what? I think right now we have a little bit of a possible tech issue, maybe not. We're gonna keep going, but I mean that really is a thing with FPS games, and sometimes you just kind of overthink certain situations, or if you're not confident and you hesitate for that one little second and you still go in for a peek anyway, that's where your aim kind of gets thrown off and everything, right? So it could happen, and you just kind of want to go in with more of that steel case confidence. You want to be more careful going into some of these fights. And that's why a lot of times we focus on the duelists. Sometimes we focus on the players who go in for trades. And when I think about that, one of those players that comes to mind is MetaWin. We saw how she plays off of Natural a lot, but
Yes.
especially on Bind, you know, it's a little bit slower. You just don't see that impact as much, and the flashes aren't really helping Natural so much. Instead, what you do see is Natural just diving in by herself, kind of dying, and then MetaWin maybe like the last one left alive somewhere towards the back. And it's just not really what you want to have.
Yeah, that's right. Hannah on the other side is just looking on fire. I believe she's playing Sova this time. You know, continuing as that initiator, but she's been making so many multi-round clutch plays. Multi-kill plays per round, and she's just looking so dangerous right now. She's demonic with that aim, and it looks like, you know, historically on Ascent that tends to be the case for Hannah. So at this rate, it's really going to be up to BOTT to come together as that team to fight against, you know, these sometimes superior firepower of Hero KDA.
Right. It always comes back to a lot of these moments. Sometimes one team looks really good at the start, and then Hero KDA comes back in with full form. 2 aces on the girl called Hannah, who is in Singapore right now. Maybe it's that 5 ping buff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Worth flying in for.
It's, yeah, I guess. But yeah, I mean, you just really need to kind of go for that mental reset. And that's what BOTT really needs right now. In fact, actually looking at how some of these teams have played before BOTT became BOTT, when they were still Point of Authority Blossom, they did play against the Hero KDA. It was a 13-10 scoreline in favor of BOTT. Well, back then, Point Authority Blossom. So I don't know if that can happen again. And they were using like a different kind of off-meta composition. There was no Sova, it was a Fade.
Oh, well, was their roster very similar?
No, it's... Well, the core roster of Bitterbot, Capybara, and MetaWin was still in there. But then 2 different players, so never quite sure. Some tiny changes. Meanwhile, Hero KDA has been together a really long time.
Yeah, and you can imagine that kind of camaraderie and that rapport that you develop over time, you know, that familiarity does play into the overall team strength as well. But that said, it is a 1-1 scoreline. So despite Hero KDA's, you know, historic run, I think we have something here for BOTT as well. Yeah,
it's there's so much that can change. But also just thinking about, like, let's say even if you do make it through this series and, you know, you're going through the whole upper bracket, this is just LCQ, and you're thinking about all the other teams that are playing in this as well. It's a huge thing for the Game Changers APAC scene, because throughout the entire LCQ, you know, qualifier, or the group stage, we had 40 teams in total. That's not a small number, and it just says a lot for the Game Changer scene overall. But then, you know, if you do qualify, going into Elite, you got to play against the greats, the SMGs, the Full Sense Sapphires, and all of that. You're going to have to bring out so much more, and you really need to find creative strats and everything.
Yeah, I think that's a really great point. It is tough. It is a competitive environment. Like, starting with that many teams. I remember seeing that list. It was insane. And we've whittled it down to, you know, 6 plus 2 more, and we're gonna find out who those last 2 are gonna be.
And then out of that, only 1 goes to Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
And then you still need to play against a team like G2 Gozen. Oh my god.
Tactibear.
Another Tactibear.
You're so good at finding these. The observer's so good at finding these. I love it.
Wait, where is this? There's a stairwell?
It's somewhere at mid, I think. Around the grass area, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken.
One way or another, there are always Tactibear somewhere, and there are always players like Aisling trying to suss out information.
Got that
Dark
info.
Carver sent out now just to block things off for a second.
All right, BOTT getting that intel, not rushing into site together. They're sussing out the groundwork now. Everyone's playing really cautiously. I think they can feel the weight of this final game.
Definitely impactful. A lot of time has passed.
Yeah, only
Now we're
40
making
seconds
our
left
way.
on the clock.
Bagel is just hiding in the corner. She might not have. Well, she shot her classic position, still giving away.
Yeah, but look how Hero KDA is positioned. Guess it doesn't really seem to stop Peppy from getting at least one kill.
And again, it's still just coming down to a lot of these gunfights, one by one, trying to hold it down. Bitterbot with the classic, at close range, blinds Hannah, tries to close in the distance, but Hannah, back and forth of generator, she finds the 4th frag.
Even with that paranoia, that doesn't stop Hannah.
Never give up.
And well, just like that Sova voice line, yeah.
Never give up. Yes. So Hannah and her aim is pretty scary, and it's gonna take a coordinated play from Bot to make sure that Hannah doesn't devastate them every single round.
That's why, I mean, you had the paranoia, but still not quite sure what happened. But turning things back at it again, it's just a bit of that retake, and Bot are slowing down quite a bit.
Yeah. They're taking it slow, and I don't think it is for lack of confidence. I think they're trying to get as much information as possible. But it's going to be really tough when you just don't have guns. And the way that Hero KDA has been playing, which is also quite cautiously, it's going to be hard to get those picks or those surprise picks on Hero KDA.
Yeah, right. Look at the setup that they have as well. We just have Bagel covering up so much of the map with her utility and watching Market and B. You got 3 players blocking off the A site, and Aisling with this paranoia could potentially block up so much. She's just gonna buy time for her teammates. Goes in for the swing too. Takes down Cappy Bot immediately. Now goes back, double dips for more, and with the final spray from her magazine, collects on the 3rd kill. A flawless win for the Hero KDA.
Aisling really kept her cool in that situation, and that paid off. There was a situation here. Look at it. They actually had a shot on her, but she wasn't deterred, took her time, micro-adjusted there, from kill to kill.
And also the range of the classic right click, I guess. Callie,
Yeah,
that does not connect.
unfortunate.
But 5 kills so far for Hannah, based off the 4 that she got earlier on. And Bot are looking to go for an execute onto the B site. Look at this read from the Hero KDA at the same time. Going in for the tiles push, just letting them into B, setting up a potential flank. Callie watching the back, but alarm bot placed down, and oh, Snow goes for the swing. Callie was caught none the wiser. Natural now just trying to play off of the initial push out of Market. But Hannah's sharp with the Bulldog as well. Cappy Bot's gone. The only 2 players left are the ones on site, and they will not be able to do all too much, not unless Metawin can pull off an insane play. Catches Bagel as she hops on over. Here comes Aisling now. It's gonna be, unfortunately, the firepower. Aisling not quite able to make it happen. Metawin getting the perfect headshot instead.
Yeah. Well done by Metawin. Getting those shots, reading it really well, staying alive for her team.
It's always inside a boathouse too. And this is where it's interesting. I mean, you're bringing out the Sky instead of a KO, so maybe a little bit more control over your flashes, you get the heal, as well as the Trailblazer. Oh my goodness, but none of that matters if you just have Hannah with an Odin. then
Ouch.
Snow to peek
and
out.
It up. B site is just lock and loaded with the most expensive guns you can get in Valorant. And it's looking really dangerous over there.
Oh, and then the Hunter's Fury as well. You're dead.
Spike down mid.
That's
Spike
brutal.
dropped.
I think their strat here is break their mental. Just make them afraid. Be very afraid. And oh my. Oh, Cappy gets a kill in Snow.
That's
There's
the
a little
off drop.
overconfidence there. Yeah.
Just maybe not
That was unexpected.
not quite reacting in time.
Right.
Spike here.
But still, it's a spike down for the hero KDA. Aisling is... Oh, she's thinking if the Omen uses the ult, maybe? I'm not too sure. But not the right call. Bitterbot just creeps up from behind. Oh, you're here. All right.
Last player
Picks up the
standing.
spike, and now...
30
Oh,
seconds
no!
left.
As she tries to
Spike
go
down
for the
mid.
From the Shadows
Right
TP play. Oh, Lulu catches her from tiles. What is happening, Vic?
All right.
Hannah with the Omen to finish it off.
That was, I think, a little bit of overconfidence coming into play there, and it got a little sloppy.
Kind of unfortunate. I mean, it's great awareness to kind of block off the potential Omen ult coming in, but nobody's watching her back. I guess that might have been, maybe it was supposed to be Hannah with the Odin, but yeah, it's just too many distractions on the other side. So it's a 3-1. And now Bot has a broken economy. At the same time, though, kind of interesting that Natural is on the Sova. Previously the Jet player. But back into it, Hero KDA looking very much in control.
Yeah, look at the confidence of Snow here.
One-way
Just
smoke.
waiting for someone to appear. She knows Bitterbot is on the other side.
Tailwind expires. That's the third smoke now coming out. And they just swing off of each other. A bit of a trade coming out from Malulu. And that's the door shut as well, effectively blocking off the A short entrance into A site for Bot. Still just burning down the timer though. Bot has not made a decision, a clear decision yet.
Here. 30 seconds left.
No, it looks like they're just trying to clear some space into either site. All right, well, Capybot
Spike down.
makes those
Defender
knives pay
spawn.
off.
One enemy
They have a
remaining.
bit of a pathway into A, but Olulu stops them in their tracks, and it's
Spike
just Natural all by herself.
tries to go in for some of those haps. Got a bit of a dink, but that said, still.
I knew this would be easy.
Contact received by the Hero KDA, and they play off of it incredibly well. Snow might have lost a life, but Olulu with that trade and everything else that followed after it, that's just how the Hero KDA operates, especially when they're on a map that they're more comfortable on, like Bind and Ascent.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Bot at this point has a bit more in the bank after saving up last round. They're really gonna have to get one more at this point to stop Hero KDA's trajectory right now.
I've got your trail.
You really have to throw everything that you have, everything in the kitchen sink. But now it is just blocked off by this big spot of the dark cover.
Yeah. Look at this. Hero KDA is so ready for this push right now. It's looking a bit daunting. I'm not sure how Bot's gonna do this. It's gonna take a lot of clever entry into it. But they have nothing, not even a recon dart at this point.
That's why it's always impressive. I mean, we talk about Valorant, and yeah, we love to highlight kills and everything, and the duelist for sure. But Aisling is quick with these smokes, and she always places them at the right time, the right place. Even though, you know, sometimes she doesn't find the most frags, that impact is felt. Snow along with Bagel as well. They are spraying through this smoke. And BOTT shall not pass.
I hate to say
You know, we were talking about wanting to see more creative plays coming out from either one of these teams for Ascent. And frankly, I don't think we're seeing that right now. And BOTT is definitely paying the price for that. They're being read. Hero KDA is reading everything that BOTT is doing really well. And they're just so prepped for it. They have so much time to set up for any push into either side. And it's costing them. It's costing BOTT.
No kidding. I mean, just I don't know, like 3 or 4 rounds ago, I think it was the first round that BOTT had the full buy. And they tried to make like a clear play into B or something. And you had the Hero KDA trying to be creative with it. A bit of a tiles crunch push. Hannah with the Odin. Snow with the Operator. Like, that's what we want to see. And BOTT hasn't really showed us any of that yet. It's a little bit painful to watch because it's a 5-1 scoreline right now. Hopefully the timeout from Freaks can change this. But as it stands, we're just going to have a blank stare from Tactibear telling us, sometimes it is what it is. And, you know, Hero KDA is just doing a little bit better.
Is that what he's saying? I can hear it. I can hear it, actually.
What's Tactibear's voice like?
I think it sounds exactly like you.
What?
Tactibear sounds like Quack. Without a doubt. But only Tactibear on its own.
You're right. Let me voice Tactibear.
Info.
One enemy remaining.
It's a tiles crunch. It's a huge massacre. And a timeout that
It was a timeout that BOTT had called.
Yeah.
But Hero KDA decided to take advantage of it. And,
oh my god, Hannah.
they knew they were cooking something, and Hero KDA
Did she?
decided this is the time to push out. And yeah,
She
she pushed out with an Odin jumping up and down.
Here.
B-hop Odin spray?
Yeah,
you
at this
kidding me?
point, Hero KDA is feeling like something. They're
So
feeling
confident.
good. They're feeling so good right now. They are playing with their food.
They're flowing. What was the... Is this really the Tactibear voice? It is what it is. It's 6-1, Vic.
Yeah, that's
And
you. Tactibear is talking to me right now.
BOTT, unfortunately, just... There's that Odin again.
Hannah's just
You have to
having fun.
think, maybe the timeout was called for, you know, the future rounds, right? And that's why they're slowly making their way, just avoiding that Odin initially, but here it comes. And you also have Bagel on the other side. Lockdown being deployed. And they might have been forced back, but here it comes again! Oh, it's another spray! 2 players cleaned off!
Strawberry Bagel is just finding so many kills right now.
Spike planted.
And then, the Hero KDA's lockdown.
Way to
Hunter's
get
Fury
flushed
deployed.
out.
One enemy remaining.
A Cappy bot just, yeah, not quite able to make too
Natural's
much noise.
so far right now, and they know, based on that
Defuse.
Hunter's Fury, that she's just too far away.
Oh no, and the final frag as well. And with that, she loses her weapon, goes in the next round. Round loss bonus, surely, but man, 7-1. This is a whole new look for the Hero KDA.
Placing swarm grenade.
And just thinking about it again, you're always considering. First of all, you have to deal with this problem that is the Odin, and it's on Hannah, no less. Now an operator being pulled out by Snow.
I feel like life's just unfair sometimes, you know?
Aw. Is everything okay, Vic?
Yeah, that's
Sometimes life is just unfair.
yeah, that's life. Think of this way: when you know there's an Odin and an op in Snow's hand,
My double's
Oh
dead.
what do
my
you do
god!
when Bagel's just hitting all of
One
the
enemy
shots?
remaining.
Hannah Lulu from behind. They started out so well.
This is just a hunting party right now. A hunting party on bot, taking each one of them down one by one. This is so painful to watch. Bitterbot all by her lonesome.
Oh no. And with a Guardian too, I mean, trying to get that headshot, but Olulu just a little bit more evasive with her movement.
They're just defending so well at this point, and the operator is probably going to switch locations again. And you know what? The kind of creativity that we wanted to see is coming out from Hero KDA right now. I mean, on top of just hitting all their shots, they are constantly switching it up, keeping it fresh, being very unpredictable, being aggressive, pushing out some rounds, other rounds staying really deep back into sight.
With the weapons that they have too, right, Vic? Upgraded arsenal and...
Oh, yeah.
But are trying something different now. But it's something that could be read pretty simply. Tailwind already heard. Hannah crouching right underneath that ledge. Spotted out by Callie, though. And this is finally something different. Exploring through mid, they might be able to push deeper into the B site. But here comes Snow with her blades. Doesn't quite connect. Natural from right underneath her rips her wings out. Then you have the other players come in as well. Olulu pushed back because of some flashes. Aisling slowly making her way through B main, but being checked by that pesky Sky player. Oh, Medawin's dead. We're back to a 2-on-2.
One enemy remaining.
Olulu clearing out stairs. Watching from the back of B main, Natural trying to peek off of her teammate's kill, and instead it's going to be the Hero KDA securing a 9th win. That is now, I can't believe it. It's like 7 wins in a row.
That is painful. That is so painful. Bot was so close, and then just like that, the rug was pulled from underneath their feet. They cannot be feeling too good right now.
Might even want to just call another timeout.
At this rate,
I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
But you can't give up, and that's what it's all about. I mean,
absolutely not. It's recoverable. It's a 9-1.
Get out of my way.
It's definitely not impossible yet.
2 rounds and that would be 9-3. Invoke the curse. You know, maybe
That's
turn things
right.
around. Maybe
have
caster
few
chinks
rifles.
here and there.
Yeah.
I've got your trail.
So you're gonna pull out a banana buff, Vic?
I have run out of bananas, unfortunately, for both of these teams. I actually look at bananas and I feel slightly traumatized now.
Oh no.
I know one thing for sure, it doesn't matter what team you're on in Game Changers, you probably all want in favor excellent.
Oh no! Well, that's not
Bagel
supposed to happen.
switching up,
Spike down.
taking the Ode into her hands. I don't think they expected that. Because it was in Sova's hands for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
But now you gotta definitely kill her. Kill her by
Okay.
taking it down.
Medawin coming up with trades now.
Right?
Heaven, she's got a clear line of sight.
Meta wants this.
50 seconds. The spike might be guarded, but you have some utility. Oh, and she goes out for the final peek.
Meta.
One
Well played.
tap.
Last round before the
Coming
switch.
off of her Trailblazer, immediately knowing that she'd be standing there and just taking her off guard and getting that kill. That was just well played by Meta. She wanted that and got it. Beautiful.
That is clean.
Yeah.
Need a drop. Thanks.
Using all of your utility to bait out the peak and just kind of sensing the timing on that operator play as well. Into a 9-on-2. This could be a 9-3. That's how things begin. Snow, though, again, with that many rounds in the bag, the Hero KDA gets to buy up repeatedly. Goes in for the peek, and unfortunately, it's a bit of a whiff. Movement not the cleanest. But she has a backup option. The rifle on the ground.
Yeah, that's how she's so loaded right now.
Oh,
no! Bagel! With the Odin murdering! Snow following up with an off kill.
I've never heard Vic like that before. Like you're almost like crying for a bot.
I don't know. When I see Odin kills, it's always like it hurts. It hurts, you know?
It does. That's why Achilles hates them.
It's so dirty. And then she got 2 in a row. It's just, oh, those poor things.
It's such a nice angle around mid arches like that, though.
Yeah.
You gotta admit.
It was smart. And I like it. They're like just so clever about repositioning constantly. Being really unpredictable with where their Odins are, where the op is
Switching
sitting.
sides.
It's dangerous. You just don't know what to expect around the corner. Is it going to be a normal rifle? Is there going to be a freaking Odin in your face? And this time, this angle was just so good. And, you know, we're going to end off this half with Hero KDA looking so strong in the lead with so much in the bank.
You need to smoke mid off if you're gonna push up short, you know, sometimes. And that said, that is what we have at the end of the first half. 10-2, Tash and Raph. What's gonna happen next?
What's gonna happen next? I don't know, Raph. I don't know. From what you said here, it was a statement that you said to me just now. We don't want you to play the game.
Exactly. That was probably the best way to, again, encompass this entire half. Let's make this the most uninteractive Valorant match in the history of the universe.
Yeah.
Let's throw Odins and operators everywhere. And the moment bot breathes in our direction, we're going to make him stop. That's exactly what's been happening. And there's just been so much instability going on the side of bot because of how rattled and panicked they are. And again, just basic stuff, basic protocol on what to do and how to take mid, on how to dissect the side, just seems very, very absent because of all these, I would say, still unorthodox weapons getting thrown around, Tash.
I mean, I wouldn't say the Odin is unorthodox for this map. And Odin on Sova on Ascent,
That's
yeah,
true.
that's normal. But like, when you start seeing them kind of swap around these Odins on different players, that's unorthodox. Or when we see, you know, someone walking up catwalk with an Odin jumping up and down with an Odin, that's unorthodox, I would have to say. It's almost kind of like mind-blowing how they're able to get away with these things, because technically you shouldn't have. Again, Hannah, I would say that it really shows when the team is having fun. You can tell that they're feeling relaxed, they're just kind of having fun with it. And because they're just sort of like in this carefree attitude where they don't really feel like they needed to really take this game so seriously, you can really tell that bot is just kind of like figuring out how exactly are we supposed to be navigating this. Our usual set plays are not working. Mid is just totally unattainable for us because of these skirmishes. We're not supposed to be expecting this. But yet, you know, the hero KDA makes it work. Regardless, as we go into the second half here, 10-2, not the worst thing in the world, but whether or not they can come back from this mental, I would say, mentally is going to be the problem here. So let's have a look here. Quack and Vic, take it away.
Thanks, Tash. I mean, tough comeback at this point.
Yeah, they looked like they were having fun. We wanted to see teams have fun. It looked like they were playing with their food. Almost like, you know, in The Sims, when you type in like the cheat code for unlimited simoleons, that's what they looked like. They just looked like they had so much money. Oh, look at this romantic Tactibear. Like,
Aw.
is he eating some ham? Some
Dude, there's steam coming
oh,
out
he's
of
having a
that.
date with the bunny.
Tacti bunny?
That's so nice. They're all hanging out.
With a
The
bunch of
worm.
squirrels watching them? That's kind of creepy.
What's the worm's name? But anyway, I don't know if this is going to turn around. It's a hard one. But this is last chance qualifier, and both teams want to get in. They want to secure their spot, be comfortable. You don't want to fight in that lower bracket because it is sweaty down there.
Natural is trying to hold her ground. Callie backing her up, but Aisling just going in, waterfalling off of each other. Callie with a classic right clicks though, slices Hannah at her torso. And that's gonna be Aisling, the last one left. Pushing all the way through from behind, picks up the spike, but Callie swings out the quad kill.
They look like us.
Well defended on B there. Look at these shots. They were not backing away, not hiding, just standing her ground here, getting each one of these shots. Great recon to let Callie finish off the rest of them.
Placing sentry.
It's a good way to start the second half. I mean, we're talking about playing with food and being confident, but there's such a thing as being too confident and having too much fun. And remember what we saw in Bind, the Hero KDA reaching match point first, but it took them a while to actually get over that hurdle and cross it over onto 13. So anything could happen.
That's so funny though. That smoke protected the bird from getting info. Their own smoke prevented
bot.
their for bot.
Slight
Look how
miscoordination.
close she is here. Look at that sense. It's like she senses something's wrong. Like back away, something's wrong. At A.
The Hero KDA makes a rotation towards A short, smoking off mid arches, safely creeping in towards Tree. Natural is here though, shock dart at their feet. It's just gonna be a whole lot of gunfire, but instead it actually tags up bot, so no kills had so far. In fact, it's safe passage in towards the top of heaven, and now they're thinking of going through defender spawn into B? No, back in towards short.
Look, we wanted creative plays, and right now, Hero KDA is doing stuff a little differently right now.
One enemy remaining.
Okay.
Strike down.
Trying it. But as soon as they doubled back, it's they got caught out by bot. Spike lost. Hannah not quite able to find all too much. Hopping up, give her position away, and it's 10-4. Bot coming back in slowly.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I like the idea. It was a little weird. I like weird at this point, especially for Raph. We want Raph to be happy with this ascent.
Yeah.
So, more weird plays the better.
Hopefully Raph is happy watching this. But yeah, 10-4.
Are you not entertained, Raph?
Manju starts wagging his or her tail a whole lot more as well. But 10-4. It's a tailwind in. Snow is looking to rip and tear through the site. Cappy bot at close range, not quite able to connect either. But Generator still very much online. Bitterbot landing 2 kills back to back. Traded out by Olulu. And as we dump bodies into the site, got 2 bodies left alive on the side of bot as well, available for the retake.
Hiding under in hell. With the crossfires set up in hell anyway, but it looks like they're getting so much info.
Placing swarm grenade.
They know where they are.
Placing swarm grenade.
I see you.
Where else could they be?
I see you.
One enemy remaining.
It's just the Killjoys left. And the Timmies.
Oh, Bagel.
Timmy backing up Bagel.
It's effectively
Timmy
an additional teammate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not the, most in terms of damage, but it does tag and slow people up, and at the same time just gives away their position. So smart move by Bagel to actually sneak out of hell in that final moment as well.
Yeah, well done. And we're seeing a lot of this kind of movement coming from Hero KDA that's been mostly paying off for them, constantly repositioning, not being stagnant, trying to be unpredictable. Okay.
You jinxed it, Vic. You want to be unpredictable. I don't know about that one, though. And she had a judge in her hand, so it's okay, I guess. But still, I don't know.
Look, I mean, I do the best I can. I don't know what they're gonna do constantly.
I can't believe she just got swatted out of the air so quick. It's a good read by bot because it's the exact same movement that the Hero KDA tried to pull off in the previous round. So they kind of anticipated it. Now onto the B site, and there is a Nano Swarm.
Waiting for it.
Oh, okay, good.
Turret's destroyed.
She's gonna get smoked off as well, though. Natural trying to back her up, but from this distance, it's blocked off by the walls and the alleyway. So it's a free site take for the Hero KDA. But Bitterbot takes out another player as well. Hannah's gone.
Found them.
Oh, Lulu striking from behind though. 2 kills
Dog
now.
just ran past her.
Eagle blinded. Back into sight. Isley still holding out from
Last
lane.
player standing.
And here it comes. Dancing around Dice. Bitter bot. A little bit sharper with that triangulation through the boxes. 11 to 5.
That shit here, mate.
Well, Ascent continues to be slightly defender-sided here.
Yeah.
Bot just fighting for their lives.
Cleaner on
Round
the
by round.
retakes. And also just the hero KDA sometimes. Remember, this is what we said happened on Bind.
Yep, exactly.
Same thing, Vic.
They get so much in that first half, and when it gets close to that match point, it just kind of slips between their fingers for a couple of rounds. And if I was Hero KDA, I wouldn't want too many rounds to slip through my fingers, because Bot is definitely picking up the pace here and figuring them out.
That's why Hero KDA is slowing the pace down in this round. Trying to play it off of Snow's dash, but it forces Cappybot back as well. And that's not a bad thing. A bit of utility has been burnt.
Yeah, kept her life, though.
Now the rest of them doubling back, cutting noise, and in towards the B site, they wonder. If they can kill Callie and effectively eliminate that lockdown, they'll be able to get the site. And here it comes, the Blade Storm. Snow's looking for it.
Bomb grenade out.
Callie's gonna stay hidden. Oh, but Hannah...
Oh, hello. Meet my rifle. One more.
Ah!
Spike planted.
Say hello to my little
Enemy
friend.
remaining.
Yep.
That's just
And Bot.
unfortunate.
Getting another round. It's 11-6.
So unlucky. What?
That market,
Flawless.
that Callie's patience, waiting in market, and just letting them walk straight into her crosshairs paid us so well. And that is where
Hello.
that taxi bear is. He's in Boathouse.
Oh, right. I love how it just shows that face, given how Callie...
So derp. So cute.
I mean, this play as well is just...
I don't know what Lulu was doing there, though. It's just like
I
the
don't...
tip of her ghost
Unfortunate.
arrow.
It's
So
one of those things you're never
unfortunate.
quite sure, because watching it from your first-person view, you don't really see it happen,
Yeah,
so you don't know. But well played by Callie. That patience.
that's right. It's like trying to see your toes after eating too much food, and you don't really realize how much your belly's grown until you can't see your toes.
Let's do a double take on that one. Nice one, Vic.
Just,
Although I'm pretty sure that only happens to chubby ninjas, not quacks.
that's right.
Actually, no. Ducks can't see their own feet. I don't think.
Can they not?
Probably not, right? Think about their anatomy and everything.
They have long necks. Surely.
Are you thinking about geese?
No, ducks. Surely they could see their own feet. They got like longest necks. Does anyone know the answer to this? This is
We'll leave it to our desk to answer. But,
yeah. These are some of the questions I'd like answered.
It is 11-6 right now, and it is the hero KDA kind of struggling to come back into the game, but finally now they got the full buys. They're pulling off huge rotations. They can again once more pin down one of these players. They might be able to take the site, but as soon as I say that, Hunter's Fury gets deployed. Callie's position finally revealed. She might have been blind as well, but still manages to sneak out alive.
Look
Spike
at their
plant
ults
coming in.
ready.
Lockdown, Seekers. You're right, Vic. They're all being used now.
This is gonna be
Player
tough.
standing.
Odds are stacked up against them.
Bagel comes down to Bagel. Wide swing, but only able to find one, and then the door shuts down as well. Bitterbot getting the last kill.
Didn't even need to use her lockdown.
She's been holding on to that.
Yeah, yep. And I think they were just waiting for that really crucial moment because the scoreline, while they are climbing up, it's still 11-7 and it is a bit dangerous. But I mean, I'm glad to see this. I'm glad to see BOTT is fighting.
But it does make you wonder, like, where did everything come to a halt for the hero KDA? And at the same time, I mean, you did say that you wanted this, Vic. It's good Valorant. It is Ascent. It's the map that we've seen so many overtimes on. It might happen.
The longest overtimes are on this map.
It might happen. Oh my God, Snow.
Oh.
Follow up
didn't
and
realize.
Well, there it is. And it's on a round where they have a half buy too. Natural comes back in and rains it back down.
Natural just showing her duelist core with 4K.
Remember, there was another duelist that swapped over to a Sova, and that was like one of the longest overtimes ever.
Yeah, I think when it comes to Valorant, you know, what you really want is you want a duelist who enjoys using utility, and those ones are the most dangerous ones. And we're seeing in game changers throughout both series today.
I like
where
it.
you have these flex duelist players, and they switch over to the Sentinel, they switch over to Initiator, and they're just beastie aim, this confidence paired up with this info gathering. It's scary.
It's that sense as well, because sometimes just giving them that little bit of autonomy to know exactly like when they need to push out and take control of certain areas on the map. That's exactly what Natural just did.
Mm-hmm.
3 kills, swapped over to a Stinger in the final moment as well.
That's right.
But,
look at this floating Tactibear.
Yes, a floating Tactibear with stubby legs.
Observers truly find every single one.
And that
I've never seen his feet before. Have you seen his feet?
No.
Oh, there's so much boops going on right now. Boops. That's how I wake up in the morning, my dog looking at me. It's like, does that seem to you?
Yeah. Right. But hey, this is off of the Hero KDA's timeout.
Oh.
They're going in with a full execute right now. Hannah with the Hunter's Fury, but as soon as Olulu makes her way into sight, instantly dismissed.
Hannah's got an Odin in her hands too.
I'm not sure if it's slightly miscoordinated, but the team's not really there to follow through. Lockdown expires though, and that's when the spike plants goes in, and
Be faster. My
now we just need to hold the site. BOTT though coming in with that sharp aim. 2 kills now. Strawberry Bagel from the side of B main. It comes down to Snow, peeks out of stairs, but then Natural takes her back down.
That was an expensive round. You know, they called a timeout just now. You could tell this is what they were preparing for. Putting down 2 ults, trying to clear out B. But like you said, it's almost like that follow-up was almost mistimed, or there was a hesitation there, and that might have completely cost them this round.
Really could have.
Cappy BOTT just being so clean.
I mean,
each of those shots.
It's still, you know, a little bit early, but I'm just gonna throw this out there. The scoreline is still 11-9. There is a chance that BOTT just comes back fully, and we end with a 13-11. We might not even see overtime if the Hero KDA can't just recover from this slump.
Absolutely. And I'm sure they know that too, and it's up to them to not give in to that pressure.
Found them. Bomb grenade out.
And just to stay focused. You know, trying to remember that momentum they had in that first half.
Found them.
It's also that defender side. Although Callie might have been smoked off, she's got the shorty in hand. Snow looking to take as much space as possible with her Blade Storm at the ready now. Potential to updraft at any moment. She hops on towards the top of heaven and looks for some heads. Kind of spots out Bitterbot, but not quite clear vision. and it's that lockdown going through. 3 players detained. All of them are stuck, Vic. And BOTT is looking to execute every single one of them. Snow, she's been left kind of undiscovered, but it's Jet v Jet, and a Sky diffusing away, trickling down the timer.
Oh my goodness.
11-10. BOTT are closing in the distance.
You know, sometimes you just get locked in that lockdown thinking, hey, use me, bait. Use me to bait it out, but you're not all supposed to get locked out together. Oh, that was unfortunate. That was... That must have been fun for Meta. Just going in there. Free kill, free kill.
Free kill, free kill. No knives.
Just bum bum.
Pew pew. But still, I mean, yeah, 11-10. Very dangerous, especially for the hero KDA. They have yet to find a solution, especially with this attacking side on a set right now. And it's just gonna be that owl drone spot that gets immediately sussed out by Naturel.
Here.
Trying to secure the numbers advantage. The team wants to explode out the site though. Dives in towards the right side. Just trying to play around dice. Generator is left open. And Callie is still here to wreak havoc. Olulu is able to find that frag, but Naturel makes it a trade from heaven.
Spike planted.
Spike plant goes down now.
Slight numbers advantage. Seeker's getting as much info as possible. Dog going out, getting even more info here.
Last player
But
standing.
it's still a 2v2.
One enemy remaining.
Now we're down to 1.
Oh my god.
This is it. It's 11-10. The scoreline is so close right now.
Oh, and Iceling's just playing Ring Around the Rosie.
She's doing it really well too.
Here's the tap, but it's the one with the bigger nerves of steel.
That's
Meta
an
win.
incredible comeback by BOTT. The scoreline is 11-11. We thought it was completely hopeless for them, but they've made that incredible comeback. This first half was 10-2. Look at the score now.
That's why you
I don't
never
know where
give
this
up.
is gonna go. Yes, Valorant is always like this. You just never know whose game it's gonna be. Incredible things can happen, and especially on a map like Ascent, it could be overtime.
It could be. It could also be 13-11, Vic.
It could
That's
be
what I'm saying.
13-11. I don't know. It could be
It's-
anything.
It's all about that one more win. On the defender side now, BOTT is burying their feet firmly into the sand. They're not backing down. They've managed to contest for B main control, and it effectively flushes the hero KDA into the A site.
Naturel already left me immediately. They read that so well. They knew that they push back and try to push into the A.
Alright. Null command to secure a spike plant, but Naturel
Sneaky kill there under that door.
trades right back. That's actually really impressive.
Yeah.
4 rounds in the magazine though, and they are banking on the fact that they've smoked off A main. Just trying to stick the defuse all the way through. Unfortunately, a little bit too complacent with that. I don't like this! And all of a sudden, Bagel comes out huge with 3 kills. The hero KDA will be the first team to reach match point.
Oh my.
Was that hubris? Just sticking the defuse that way?
Yeah. I think they were...
Infantry.
It was just confidence. Overconfidence, you know, on that win streak. If we got this, surely they don't push this, and I'm not sure what they were thinking. Because Hero KDA is definitely not going to go down without a fight. They were losing many rounds in a row, but there's absolutely no let that go.
This is so funny. If you look at the rounds in the first half, it perfectly mimics what's going on in the second half right now.
Yeah, but flipped, right?
Yeah, completely. BOTT won the pistol round, the subsequent one. Hero KDA won the next, and then 7 rounds in a row for BOTT. And just when it matters most, they dropped that round too. And then the Hero KDA picks up the 12th.
Well, you were doubtful of an overtime. I'm not sure anymore.
It could happen.
It could happen. It could definitely could happen. Hero KDA
You should run.
is on that track.
Ooh, Isling's getting pinged. Lockdown pushes them back. And they could take more forward positions with this, but look at the positioning instead. They're going back to wrap around A short. And just playing around the site now. It's gonna be Hannah as well as Snow coming in with a crouch spray. Bitterbot's the last one left, and Olulu
Attackers win.
coming out from tree. They did not expect it. It's a 13-11 end.
BOTT fought so hard, coming back to 11-11 score, and Hero KDA just giving them this more than a sniff of hope and winning this out. They take it back. Like that. Like it is ours, and we move forward into this upper bracket. Hero KDA winning the third map in this best of 3. How incredible was that? Quack. We wanted a good last map. We got a good last map.
It was good. I'm a little bit disappointed. I was so excited for that comeback to come through because you could see that BOTT clearly earned it, especially with their defensive side.
Yeah.
But then the Hero KDA just in their final moment, all right, I've had enough fun. I'm going to play serious now. And then they just ended it out with 2 more wins, and that's all they needed.
Yeah, they just got their stuff together in the nth hour, and luckily that they did, because it could have been BOTT's game. I mean, going into the lower brackets now, the lower quarterfinals, I think I would be careful. I would watch out for BOTT.
I certainly would as well. I mean, they have shown that they have that resilience, but that said, it is the lower bracket, so heavy stakes, and at the same time, congrats for Hero KDA, but they're going to face tougher opponents as well. So it's not going to be easy, but our panel's still going to have to break all of this down, whatever just happened, and maybe an interview as well. Tash and Raph, are you ready for this?
We are so ready coming into this one. Once again, Ascent showing us that it is definitely the defender side of the map. That comeback was honestly insane. It felt like the Hero KDA did not manage to find an answer on how exactly to break that set play, the aggression, or even the hold coming through from BOTT. And honestly, there were just way too many rounds given away to the point that BOTT was able to climb back to an 11-11. Phenomenal, honestly. It wasn't until it was almost like they were in a dream until they realized, oh my god, this reality is setting out of us. We are now 11-11. We need to make something happen. And then they just finally wrapped it up and just called it a night.
Yeah, pretty much. It was basically, oh no! Anyway, it's basically that in a nutshell. But I really like how BOTT just basically dug super, super deep, did not let those rounds get to the best of them, did not let their mental degrade too much, and still fought tooth and nail to nearly reverse that series. And as I was watching that round counter go up, it was like, oh no, because it's also one of those things where on the side of the Hero KDA, it was basically a meltdown waiting to happen up until the very last pair of rounds. But other than that, Quack and Vic actually pointed out that there was a lot of map movement, especially in the post plant. If we looked at the defending team, which was BOTT, they actually just gave up sight completely, tried to pivot off of all those retakes, but for them to go for a double wraparound at the very last round was actually super clever.
Yeah, but for now, let's have a chat with the Hero KDA to just really find out what happened in the second half of that game. So let's see who's on the line. Hello. Oh, we have Olulu. Right, I forgot to mention to everyone that the girls from the Hero KDA actually flew out to Singapore to play together. So, there's so many things I want to ask you guys, but first of all, how are you feeling after that very long game?
Actually, we are very afraid that we almost choked the second half, but me and my teammate know that like we got this, and we keep our mental like strong, so that we don't like really messed up. So like the last 2 round we came up with a strat. Let's say like we're gonna do this, and then end up we actually clean it up and did not go over to OT, which we were very afraid of. Yeah.
Can you share with us a little bit about like what happened in the second half? Like what happened to the point that you guys were giving up so many rounds to a bot that they were able to come back to an 11-11 from a 10-2?
So I think maybe our first few attack rounds, right, we are actually kind of playing into them, I would say. Like they actually read us very well, and they really know like what we are gonna plan to do lah. Yeah. So I think that round, that few rounds, we really really gave up a lot of rounds to the enemy team. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about all of you guys. So, you know, for your team, you guys are from so many different parts of Southeast Asia. What made you guys decide to fly over to Singapore and play together? And like, what's the process like to get you all the way there?
So because we were like thinking, oh hey, LCQ is like the last chance to qualify for elite, right? So why not maybe we get the land buff? So we wanted to get the land buff. So we suggested to like the Filipinos, or like Hana and Beggar, to came over to Singapore to play with us. Yeah, and I think the land buff really helped us today. Like every single round we win a round, or like we clutch, or like we get ace. We were like fist bumping, you know, like jumping around, and yeah, yeah. I think
I mean,
the
it
land
is
buff
the
really helped
first
us.
time. Yeah, it is your
Yeah.
first time you guys playing together. So can you share with us what's it like, you know, playing together on ground? I mean, you guys said that the buff did work, but what's it feel like playing together as a team in one area?
Yeah, I just feel very nice that like I know that like whenever basically playing together, I know that my team really got my back, and you know I have them to rely on. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have all of this as well going on behind
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
You guys just bullying each other. So Hannah shared with me that you only started IGLing during Open 3 until now, and you've grown so much since then. So can you share with me a little bit about like why you decided to IGL and how's that going for you?
I the reason why I decided to Azure is that like I feel that like we need to have like someone to be able to how to say lead the team without like everyone being very lost. So I think I took up the IGL role so that I can help my teammates to get the idea of like the whole team what we're gonna do together, instead of, because previously we were like, sorry, yeah, we have 3 IGL. So,
3 IGLs? Okay, share with us more about that. How does that work?
yeah, so like 3 IGL, like, and then we have a lot of inputs, a lot of strats, then everybody get very confused. So after the open, I think Open 2, we decided that like we should came down to like 1 IGL, so that like we can focus on one strat, so that we don't get like very messed up with other strats. Yeah.
So how did they manage to decide on you for the IGL?
How do you guys decide for me to take the IGL?
He's very.
She's our mom.
Oh.
She say
No!
like I think
Decisive.
yeah, I guess so. Like maybe because I'm loud. Yeah.
I mean, I don't disagree with you after our hangout last time in
Yeah.
Singapore. So, yeah, not surprising there, but thank you so much, Olulu, for the interview, and congratulations on that win just now. Super excited to see you guys play together, and I hope to see you guys here on the desk one more time. Bye, guys. Good night.
Bye guys. Bye. Bye bye.
And definitely what I said about like having fun, you can really see that in how they play together as a team. And I love the fact that they took accountability as well for that so many rounds they've given away. So I'm really hoping to see a lot of growth from them. But what do you think, Raf?
Honestly, it's just really refreshing to see the whole team's like, hey guys, let's just come here, let's do our best, and let's see how far that's going to take us. And it's obviously taking them very, very far. And to have actually just the coordination to agree on one IGL, especially like when you have a bit more of again, it's kind of like an open form system. I've had something similar when I used to compete, so it's like there's always disagreements, right? But for all of them to say, hey, Olulu is going to be our IGL, and that's final. is it takes a lot, and for them to get this far is already quite a lot also.
Yeah, I can really see, you know, how it's gonna be. But let's have a look at the brackets so far. From, as you know, as Quack mentioned during the game just now, there was a 13-0 on the mainstream, so it's gonna be super exciting to see which game that was. Regardless, gonna be seeing the upper brackets, Nyx versus MLT, and then we are gonna have the Hero KDA against Neons tomorrow. Now, for bottom bracket, we're going to be seeing NF, Nana and Friends versus BMY, and BOTT versus Deviants. It's going to be super dope to be watching all of these games.
I feel like that's a really, really challenging lower bracket already.
Oh, yeah.
But those are the absolute greatest logos. I cannot get my eyes off. Apparently, the name of the dog is Fifi. I think.
Fifi! Oh, that's
Yes.
so cute. That's so cute. But moving on. This is what you're gonna be expecting here on the substream tomorrow. Nyx versus MLT versus Nana and Friends and Be My Team. Now, Be My Team is a team that's quite new. I think it's their first time playing on this big stage. It's gonna be really exciting to see what they can bring to the table. But if you could choose between these two games, which one are you most excited for?
I will always, and this is not because of their logo, I am looking at the Nyx game, honestly.
Yeah, same.
Because of Fifi. I'm not gonna lie, guys. It's because of Fifi. But
I mean,
again,
Nana and Friends has a pretty cute logo too, no?
Yeah, but I'm more of a dog person. I love all animals, but I love dogs. You know, they're great.
The biasness is very real. It's showing on your
I don't know.
shirt as well. Yeah, I mean, I can't guess that you love dogs, man.
Yeah.
I mean, what
You know,
gave that
you-
away?
I don't know. I'm a goldfish person, apparently.
You're a
With,
goldfish person? It just even shows in your memory too. But moving forward.
Hey. What did you say? I'm kidding.
That'll be it for today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and spending time with us here at the VCT Game Changers Asia Pacific. Today is day 1. Moving on to day number 2. Don't forget that I'm Raph and I'm Raph. Okay, and he's Tash. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yes.
Good night, everyone.
Spike down A. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One. Bring them. One enemy remaining.
Headshot.
10 seconds left. One enemy remaining.
Here.
One enemy remaining. Hush.
Nice, nice.
One. One.
Off your feet!
One enemy remaining. 30 seconds left.
Give me a corpse. My ultimate's cage triggered.
Last player standing.
Prepare for hellfire! Here.
No charges left.
See ya. Taken down. Oh, exactly where you are.
Catch them.
Open up the
Spike down B. One enemy remaining.
Bomb buddy out.
One enemy remaining.